Peace, peace. What's up with it? Turn it one time. How y'all feeling out there? What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, though? Somebody said, it sounds like you just woke up, Chief. Goddamn right. You know what I'm not understanding, bro? We've been in here 10 minutes. Usually by 10 minutes, we'll be at 100. We'll be at 100 people in here. You know, we haven't been coming on. I don't know if it's the titles. I don't know what it is. I don't know if people not hitting the like button, people not sharing. I don't know what it is. Yeah. Some dumbass nigga came in the chat, typing in the chat, can't even spell. Nigga can't even spell Kushada. Get your illiterate ass up out of here, nigga. Nigga can't even spell. But how y'all feeling though, man? Tapping in. Angie, Prince 213, B Engine, Corey, Dog Chief, Carla, TD, Shrun, Still Eye. Yeah, Maul in the building. Allen, Cam, that boy from Florida, Remy, Kerry, somebody named It You. It You. Hell of a name, fam. But what up, though? And we got a lot of people in the back creeping. Why? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But they're in the back creeping. Miss Goddess, K, Dimples, Marcus, Tide. Turn up. So check it. Boy, the news been jumping and thumping, ain't it? We got candidate to be the first black woman president. We witnessed a lot of things, over the past weeks, and a lot of people get to see how gangster politics really are. You talking about people who move with immunity. You can do some gangster shit, nigga, and move with immunity. You know what I mean? You're not necessarily, you above. You can do some gangster shit and be above the law. So they popped at Trump. A lot of people said it was fake. A lot of people said it was staged. I'm gonna be honest. I'm leaning on the other side now. I think it really was a hit. The reason why is because the events that followed. They really tried to get him out of there, if you ask me, because now the powers that be, we watched them audible. We watched them go to their next play. We watched them go to their counter play. And now it was it an inside hit? Of course, it was an inside hit. And right now they're trying to get to the bottom of it, and a lot of them afraid that if Trump become president, he then will have the power, the resources, and the clearance to actually get behind, So right now, one of the directors, they just stepped down, fired, however it go. They going after the rest. And what caught my ear was these very, very important people who are in charge, when they are questioned about the situation, they're playing like they have no answers. They don't know nothing. It's been over 10 days and don't nobody know nothing. So I do want to go through some of that sweet feather. Boy, you ain't never had sweet feather, boy. Well, the feather is sweet. Shit. Agave, is that agave? So and to say she not black, she Indian from India. Well, right now they passing off as a nickel. Oh, Nene girl, you must read I can read your mind, girl. I know what you're thinking. Nene, you must knew I was girl. You just read my mind. Come sit by me. Hey friend. This nigga here throwed off. Feather say, nah, that's 100% honey. Oh, the nectar. The nectar in the so look, check it. We must stay focused, family. We must stay focused. Lucini in the building. Dimples. Let me tell you something, Dimples. Dimples. We had this group right here was on that bullshit. You would have went so good with this group right here, Dimples. Let me tell you. The last BCU group we just went with, you know how you and Geechee just flipping out. Listen, we had some drinkers and some thinkers. Boy, we had some niggas fall out. Yeah, we had niggas sleep with their mouth wide open, man, head back, with 2 bottles in front of them. Cam sent me the pictures. They got pictures and video. They caught me sleep too. That's I went mouth wide open type of shit, nigga. I was out for the count though. Nah, I was out for the count. I couldn't go no more. But Dimples, I don't know how you missed this one, man. These nigga was on that bullshit. That was right up your alley, and we kept saying it too. Dimples would have did good with this group. We kept saying Dimples would have did good with this group right here. Dimples, Carey, Geechee, they engine guy. They would did good with this group. She say, soon I seen them dominoes, I know I had. Oh yeah, and that was day one. That was day one on them dominoes, and they screaming and hollering. Give me 15. I'm talking about the whole goddamn hotel here. And they don't give a damn. Nigga gotta stand up to slam the domino. Really, fam? Man, you could have placed the domino with nigga stood up and walked all the way around, did a 360 degrees around the table just to slam it, just for 10 whole ass points. Yeah, that nigga, these nigga was tripping. That nigga then did a 360 around the whole table. For 10 funky ass points. Yeah, them nigga third out, man. For no motherfucking apparent reason, man. For nothing. I need to put some cream on my tattoo. She said she gonna be in. Okay, bet that up. All right. So I think I got some audio I want to play. Let me see. We want to jump right into the audio. Hold on, let me get my tattoo right. I'm going to go get some more. I gotta go get me a neck piece done. I'm going to go get BCU on my neck with some Jaguar paw prints. With some Jaguar spots on it. Yeah, I'm finna go get my whole neck hit up. Type of shit. All right, y'all. We done got the arm taken care of. Look at Carla. Carla, I already know who I ain't gonna say no names, Carla Faye. Carla Faye, we ain't gonna say no name. They go, I'm born here. They go another domino playing nigga. See, wait till we get the whole family back. Now we just pointing out individual damn fools. Wait till we get the whole cause back. Cause y'all gotta remember, it was a card game on this side, and it was dominoes on this side. Nah, we gotta get the whole fam back. Kiki, little big head ass. Kiki, you done had that baby. That baby ought to be walking by now, goddamn. Bring him, fuck it. Yeah, bring him and bring the baby and the baby daddy. Yeah, Kiki, that baby ought to be walking now. Yeah, it's time for you to come back out to the BCU event, Kiki. We not trying to hit. We need Lena Laurie. Who else? Deal Bear. We need that She Hoisted. She Hoisted ain't gonna play no dominoes and shit though. We talking about niggas who gonna kind of, yeah. We gonna figure this shit out. We gonna get to the bottom of that. Amiri in the building. I mean, Mimi. God damn it, we gonna call you Mimi, okay? We gonna cut that down. We gonna shorten that down. We gonna call you Mimi. Yeah, your new name is Mimi. Them will say, and maybe Jamaica. Jamaica is a whole vibe. Do you hear me? Jamaica is gonna be something like different. And then look. You had that ass out at the pyramid. Jamaica, that ass is damn near like mandatorily out. Yeah, that ass gonna be out in Jamaica. If there was any other place you wanted to have that ass out, it should be Jamaica. We'll see you on the beach. If there was ever a place for that ass to let that ass hang out. Yeah. If there was ever a place with a feather. Yeah, with a feather. A sweet feather. Boy, y'all know I just woke up, huh? Yeah, I ain't been up that long. I just woke up. I've been going to sleep, nigga. It's like, nigga, man, when I'm talking about sleep, I've been sleeping. I've been doing full 12-hour sleeps around this son bitch, man. For real, trying to come back to life, man. Lucini say the cheeks will be cheeking. Oh, of course. Oh, of course. The cheeks will be cheeking. And we got all these big old strong men there to oil them down. We use coconut oil, shea butter, vitamin E. We got all types of enrichments. For yeah. We got all type of concoctions in the rig. Yeah, our main base will be coconut oil, to get the real gloss on them. Miss Goddess K, Miss Goddess K? Will you be joining us in Jamaica? Bottle on me. Okay, Miss Goddess K, because you laughing a little. You down there chuckling a little too goddamn hard, Miss Goddess K. Will you be joining us? She says, sure. Well, we would love to have you. What Umar say? Butter almond pecan. Yeah, pistachio. Butter almond pecan. Yes, Lord. Angie, you coming out, Angie? Cause Angie, I know you from New York by way of Philly. Are you coming? Cause y'all close. I mean, y'all. She said, "I'm trouble." Well, you done met your match. God damn it, you done met your match. You troubled, and this is where you need to be. BCU. Trouble is our middle name. Do you hear me? A whole heap of troubles. Mimi, what about you? Mimi, where you from? West Coast? And look at this nigga here. Look at this nigga here. Hey, Rue talking about he been a massage therapist for 15 years. And he's great with his hand. Okay. He put an ad in the paper. Will you be joining us in Jamaica? Because it's gonna be a lot of walking. And these ladies, yeah, it's gonna be a lot of walking. Hold on now, because we ain't promoting the bullshit no more. I got called to the office the other day. Hold on, y'all done got me some shit. See, I can't come on here and be wild in the damn food no more, man. We got rules and regulations now, man. Some shit went down, and goddamn it, I can't be out here promoting the bullshit. So I gotta back up off of that. Good to know. Bring both hands, hey Rue. Bring both hands. I gotta go down there and goddamn talk to the Supreme Court about some shit. So we'll just bring the hands anyway, man. And I'll see what type of legislation I can get passed for you. Cause right now they on my ass. Look, they talking about impeaching me. So yeah. They got that. They talking about impeaching me, man. Underrated darkness. Underrated darkness in the building. You know what? My first panel when I had a YouTube channel that I got on and discussed black politics, was underrated darkness. That was my first underrated. Now look at your nephew now, underrated. I done came a long way. We ain't but 100 in there. We're gonna get some more stacked in this bitch. It's about 4,000-5,000 people gonna see it when we leave. But underrated, look at your nephew now, man. I done came a long way, man. I done came a long way, man. Look at me now. Who would have ever thought? Dead game in the building, Ebenezer, the team captain who don't know how to set an alarm. The team captain who want to be booed up over the phone to 5 in the morning and fall asleep. Yeah. The team captain who want to be booed up on the phone with hubby and goddamn me, almost miss Chis and Nisa. Look at calling them laughing at you. Arawak, we going to Jamaica, fam. We need our OG Arawakan out there. 713 say, DJ 713, you from Houston? You 713, you from Houston? What part of it, man? Don't tell me we got another Houston Indian here. We call BS. You are in Florida. No excuses. We better see you in Jamaica. You a Floridian. Cause I need a barber when we get out there. Yeah, I need to touch up every day. And Divide say she know how to make Caribbean dishes. We just got all these cooks out here. I feel like Martin Luther King. I feel like Martin Luther King, state to state. I feel like a civil rights leader. Cause y'all know, I heard them talking. Dick Gregory was saying during the civil rights era, when they would go to cities, they would go to cities, and there would be people there who they know, and then they was always welcome there, and they would always cook the dishes that was prominent in those areas. You know what I mean? So yeah, I envision that I want to be able to come to y'all cities and states, and y'all sit me down and show and cook for me, and I want to eat how y'all and y'all family eat out there. Yeah, one of these days. He said, we spoke on you boys got in the New Orleans apartment. He said, we spoke on your boy who got killed in New Orleans apartment. Who that? Okay, Divine, you in Florida too. What part of Florida? That's why you can make them Caribbean dishes. Camille the needs in the building. Question in the building. My nigga Question. Turn up one time, family. Eb said tentative schedule. He said proper yard food. Yeah, I want that proper yard food. I done found it. They say they got good restaurants in the grill. We will be there for all the ladies who want to get the massages laying down on there. Yeah. We will be over there where they do the massages. Well, yeah, we will be there for the ladies. Go get y'all a little massage. Tay Moore's in the building. Okay, North Palm Beach. Okay. Vito, for everybody in the building, Vito is the youngest BCU member. He is BCU little bro. So when y'all see OMB Vito, he is the little brother of BCU, he gonna be one of the ones, you know, when we all gone, he gonna be the ones to tell all of the stories to the new generations that's coming up, goddamn. So when y'all see video, y'all say what's up to our little bro, the youngest member of BCU. And boy, you get him and Kiki together, boy, you gonna start a fire. Yeah. Them two young whippersnappers, Kiki and Vito, you get them together, it's gonna be trouble. They gonna dance, they gonna, and KJ, Cam, Trees, yeah. Oh, you a New York? I didn't know that. Well, yeah, it's in Florida now, so you a hop, skip, and a jump away. You a hop, skip, and a jump away. Oh, it'll build it. Man, I gotta holler at Dane and see if they gonna come through. You feel me? In November, you know, if 13 come, I know some of 13 be coming through, coming to rock with us anyway. But you know, I'm gonna take care of my business, man, and I'm gonna go on lock the venue down. And I really need to holler at Dane to see if they're gonna come, because it's certain parts that you can, once you get the venue, it's different venues inside of the building. So we need to know everything we need booked, because I want to book a side for Dane to have for him and Miss T, Sister T, my sister, and then we can have another area where 13 can congregate by themselves, you know. And you know, we're gonna have, like I say, dressing room and a personal room for the homie Dane. And then BCU, you know, we're gonna have our spots and shit. And we got VIP too for the ballers who want to pay VIP. Y'all want to get section now, y'all want sections. And then we have a room where, you know what? Let me see if I still have it. I may still have it. I might still have it. I don't even know what to look under. Hey, did y'all see the video yesterday? How y'all enjoyed the video? The one in the building, man. Atlanta in the building. Hey, when I come out there, man, I need some gas. One, when I get out to ATL, I need some gas. Out top. My people them off the east side, man. And Creek, I got throw Creek out there too. Creek, one of our little bros too. Real dude right there, man. Yeah, I cut for Creek. Creekside Yellow, man. I remember his first day. He was at work. He pulled up on me. Yeah. Now we got some soldiers, man. Creek, he out of East Side. Shout out to Gulf Coast Scalper, man. Gulf Coast Scalper, you know, Mississippi, but he out there. He been on the East for a minute, you know. Shout out to Nick. Nick, if you still watching, Nick. Shout out to Nick, right there. Love the shit out of me some Nick, man. Hey fam, Rashad Jamal 3.0 in the building. Tell Rashad Jamal, man, we gonna put something on his books. Turn up. Dosey said it worked with peace. Dosey, I got an attitude today, Dosey. Can we talk about it? It'll be brief. Can we talk about why I got an attitude today, Dosey? Can we talk about why I have an attitude, Miss Dosey Doe? Dosey unscrambled mind, but Dosey really a BCU nigga. You know, that's unscrambled mind, freedom, Nisha. Y'all really some BCU ass niggas. Really. Y'all unscrambled mind, but y'all some BCU ass niggas too. Nah, for real. Nah, y'all know BCU love some unscrambled mind. It ain't before y'all, goddamn. Y'all ain't nothing but some BCU ass nigga. Indian Ken in the building. Tiffany Daniel. Tiffany, will you be joining us in H-Town in Texas? Hey, what's a reflection? What's a UCI reflection, fam? What's that? Let me get this broke ass light out of my sights. Hey, Lolita say get the lights up, family. We about to start the show. Big D's in the building, my nigga. BCU lifers right there. That was talking about we love y'all too. Nigga, y'all some BCU ass niggas. When people be seeing y'all, that's all they say. Them some BCU ass niggas. University Cosmic Intelligence. Okay. Tiff say, let me get my baby sister together. I got y'all. Oh, babysitter, I'm sorry. Okay. We might have our own little baby. If it become too much of a hassle, we might have our own little babysitter. Cause we family, you know, you can do that with family. We'll find somebody who good with the babies, and we'll make sure the babies have their own little party. Jay Walker in the building. So we're gonna get straight to it. Andrew out of B Moore. Andrew, B Mo. Hey, look at it, fam. What's the best restaurant to go to in B Moore? What is the best? Oh, Ebenezer, little Ebony, it's the nurse nanny. Okay. Tell her we pay good. Little Ebony. I wonder if she act like Big Ebony. Jamal Henderson in the building, comedian in the building, 910. Hey, what's 910? I seen it before. What's 910? 910. Ring a bell. D Rich say Papillion Cuisine, Baltimore. Okay. Let me screenshot that. What my other phone is? I really don't see my other phone. Don't tell me I left it in the car. Man, where the fuck is my phone? Oh, I got you. And then my iPhone 15, that motherfucker still, I forgot to bring it. I left it. That was the only thing I left on the way there. Only thing I left. And but it was cool. Cause goddamn trees came in handy. All right. Somebody jumped in the Cash App early. Let me see who that. Forever Iskity. Hey, where you at? Say something in the chat, fam. He looking for the Native American lecture. I just gotta make sure you're not a Native American. I see the red hen right there. That's why I had. Most High chose it to build it. Shalom, Bach. Shalom to you. All right, bet. Dad, the father say he finna fall asleep. Nah, you finna get up out of here. Look, so sell more phone in the building. Let me see. Whoa, boy, talking about he about to fall asleep. Nigga, go take your ass asleep then. All right. Yeah, go take a nap, sir. All right, y'all. So we're gonna get into the bill, right? Braylon in the building. We're gonna get into the bill. Let me ask y'all this here. Do y'all think we're about to get our first black woman president? The first president of the United States is a black woman. Tony C note in the building, man. Cali. What part of Cali though? You gotta hit us up with what part? We got so many Cali. one of our OGs out of Compton out here. We got B-Nose as well, goddamn. Playboy gangster crib. Looks, what the hell? Why the hell you down there rolling out? That lady is black. That lady been to a HBCU. Hold on. Let me see. Let me find this part. I had to laugh too because you know the machine is doing a good job of pushing this narrative. So how it went was they had no intentions on Biden making it to the election. That's why when the debate happened, I was saying there was no need for that. There was no need for a debate at this time unless they wanted to see where he was at. They wanted to see where Biden was at. Whatever they were introducing it to the public through the debate. And then they came back and, you know, PR had him doing one-on-one interviews and all these different things. But then in other situations, like once he referred to himself as the first black vice president, he referred to the vice president as Trump. He referred to Putin as being a Ukraine's president. And so we saw these type of things happen, right? And he came down the helicopter that time and he was looking out, you know. And so they understood that they were going to have to move him out. Now, a lot of people wanted both out the ticket. And that's why they didn't want Biden to endorse her. But there was a lot of people behind the scenes saying, hey, we have to run with her. She's in a good position right now. And some of her VPs, they were looking for someone who would run with her. Let me see some. Hey, if y'all have not hit the like button, let's take time to hit the like button. What my share gang get, man? Coppers in them, done them, man. What my gang get? Hey, I'm looking for Whirling Thunder. When y'all see OG Jaguar, let them know. Let me know. Cause I would have had your pack out today, but I got to put some BCU slippers in there forever. So I need your size. I got your sizes on there. I got you some BCU merch, the new one. Got you some shorts to go with it. We got you the socks to go with it. Like 3 pair of socks. And then we gotta get you your slipper. The fam, he had ordered something one time, man. We ain't have it in stock. And you know, a lot of BCU niggas, they don't ask for refund. They just be like, nah, you good. You know what I'm saying? Keep that. And so we want to come back and, you know what I'm saying? And we want to award loyalty, you know what I mean? Because only family do shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So we ready. Kamala Harris, VP. Let me see. I want to get some of her potential. All right, we'll go here first. Michael Jordan in the building. You sound like a USA Olympian, nigga. That's a hell of a name. You sound like a Olympian. All right, now here go. I think there's some of the candidates.
Established, the nation still does not know who Vice President Kamala Harris will choose as her running mate. The good news? Our reporters are following a few of the potential picks.
I'm Camilo Montoya Galvez in the battleground state of Arizona. President Biden carried the state in the Sun Belt by only 10,000 votes in 2020, and the margins of victory here are again expected to be very small come November of this year. Vice President Harris is certainly facing an uphill battle in trying to turn the state blue yet again, but some Democratic voters here told us that she will have a better chance of winning Arizona by selecting Senator Mark Kelly as her running mate. Kelly, of course, is a former U.S. Navy pilot and the husband of Gabby Giffords. He's also a former astronaut, but importantly, he is viewed as a moderate and pragmatic voice in a deeply divided U.S. Congress. That profile, some argue, can help the Harris campaign attract independent voters as well as disaffected Republicans who are absolutely crucial here in Arizona. To win this state in the Sun Belt, the Harris campaign will also need to galvanize young voters and Latinos who make up 25% of the electorate here. Republicans, however, argue that concerns about inflation, the economy, and illegal crossings along the Mexican border will help former President Trump carry the state in November.
I'm Shauna Mizell in Kentucky, where the state's governor, Andy Beshear, has been floated as a potential running mate for Vice President Kamala Harris. Now, what makes Beshear unique is the fact that he's a two-term Democratic governor in a state like Kentucky that traditionally votes for Republicans. And he talks a lot about bipartisanship as well. So that could be an advantage when it comes to bringing in moderate or independent voters. Now, Beshear has also been a very vocal supporter of abortion rights, and that could complement a lot of the work that we saw Harris doing out on the campaign trail before Biden dropped out of the race. We know that Harris embarked on a reproductive freedoms tour, hitting multiple battleground states and attempting to tie restrictive abortion bans to the legacy of her could-be opponent if she is the nominee, Donald Trump. And speaking of Donald Trump, Beshear could also provide a counter to Trump's running mate, J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance is a senator from Middletown, Ohio, but he has roots in Kentucky as well, in the Appalachia area. And over the past few days, we've seen J.D. Vance and Beshear trading barbs back and forth. But as of yesterday, Beshear told reporters that he has not yet been asked to submit vetting materials to the Harris campaign.
Earlier today, Governor Roy Cooper delivered remarks about a clean energy project in the state. Now, all eyes have been on Cooper as of late because of speculation that Vice President Harris might ask him to join her as her running mate. Now, Cooper would make a valuable addition to the ticket, given that he is a rather popular candidate here in North Carolina, a key battleground state where Donald Trump won just narrowly in 2020. Cooper has maintained support from both Democrats and Republicans and could be useful when trying to appeal to those more moderate voters that are so crucial this election year. But on a more personal level, Harris and Cooper go back way over a decade. The two know each other from their days as attorney generals of their respective states. They have developed a strong friendship over the years, and we have seen Cooper on the campaign trail with Harris multiple times this year. Now, Cooper has said that he backs Harris 100%. And while reporters have consistently asked him if he would accept Harris's request to join her as her running mate, he has remained rather coy about the subject and said he wishes to respect her selection process. However, he continues to voice his support from her and said he will do whatever he can to make sure that she wins in November and to make sure that Donald Trump stays out of the White House in November.
And we thank you all for your reporting.
All right. April Dunn, which trip you coming to, April? You coming to I said Vegas. Buck in the building. Hey, I'm being South Carolina next month, but I'm coming back. Ancestors need me in South Carolina. Fellas, I know y'all got y'all South Carolina play going. I'll be there next month, so I don't know y'all dates. Maybe I can get them back and we can chop it up. Y'all can let me know and we can see what's going on. I think that'll be nice if y'all if we can meet on the same dates. I think that'll be real nice. Now hold on, because I hear a lot of people saying she ain't black, but them HBCUs are saying it. Them HBCUs are saying it.
Now pushing people to the polls, the South Carolina Bureau Chief Shakira Speaks details the efforts of the Rock Hill chapters.
One of the main initiatives for the 9 historically Black sororities and fraternities is voter awareness and registration. And while this election year is like no other before, the organization's leadership says the push to make sure people are registered is no different than any other year.
as we know that voter registration, it is a critical first step in our democratic process.
Tiffany Hefney, president of the Rock Hill chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, says while the organization is nonpartisan and will not endorse a candidate, leaders want to make sure everyone has a say in who the nation's leaders are. On Monday, the council presidents say this is an unprecedented time for voter registration, education, and mobilization. Officials hope this annual campaign will activate thousands of chapters and members across the country in their respective organizations to ensure strong voter turnout in the communities they serve.
That wasn't a response to our current events. That was more of saying, just do what you've been doing for the past years. And that's, again, engaging our communities, making sure that whether you're on the Democratic part or the Republican part, our communities have the information.
A Pew Research study shows about 66% of the voting eligible population turned out for the 2020 presidential election. That's the high.
So now they want to use the HBCUs to help them politic. Now, if it didn't mean so much, then why do they have all of these Negroes out here campaigning? I keep telling everybody that it is looking like color folk run the Democrat. You got to think of how many times Bill Clinton, they said Bill Clinton was a Negro. Yeah, they put Bill Clinton down as a Negro, got him in the Hall of Fame and everything. And we always see these Dems, they need the black voter. The black vote went that important. I always say, well, where are the YT Dems? And why do the color folk have more pull and power than them? Every time we see a Democratic president in office, the vote, the targeting audience is towards our people. But then they'll turn around and tell us we ain't nobody. When the parties flip, because everyone knows that, people look like us, we're banging Republic. So Martin Luther King was a Republican. Martin Luther King changed his stance as his dad got in politics with the Kennedys. Why? Because they both share Irish descent. Now, he said he didn't support him at first because he was Catholic. So it's going to be a different side. The King family is going to come from the Protestant line, which is why he's going to be a Baptist minister. I need y'all to follow me on this. Martin Luther, the original Martin Luther in 1517, he's the guy responsible for breaking away from the Catholic Church. So the King family is going to, their bloodline is coming from directly from that bloodline. Also with the Mayflower descendants, King has ancestry going back. Man, I broke his whole thing down already. It goes back there on his mother's side. Well, on his father's side, his family's gonna come in 1832. His family's gonna come from Ireland, okay? And so this is where his Irish roots is gonna come, just like the Kennedy boys. So in 1960, you had the left movement and all of these people coming out, a lot of funding, but King, who voted Republic, King was definitely Republican. This is old news. And if y'all watch my Martin Luther King video, MLK video, you'll see it on there. Then he, politically he switches over. The dad says, I will, the dad came out and encouraged a lot of people, which he too. And his family comes, listen, you got to think about it back then, and then they were in Georgia too. These were, so my game is this. If our vote, anytime they want to convince the people that they're doing good in the polls or that they got a great chance, they always bring up the Negro vote. Joey B, he brags about having these type of things because they understand it. And this is show. And then you on the flip side, you'll have these other dudes come out and say, well, we ain't voting unless we getting X, Y, and Z. There's no mouthpiece or no one standing in who's speaking for us. And so, just like Joe Brown said, the Black Caucus is not really Black Caucus. Ancestry. LG. So, and they're not fighting for our people. Our people have no voice there. There's no representation for our people. And so, mic check, y'all can't hear me? Oh, he say he can't hear me. Mic check, mic check, mic check. Mic check, can y'all hear me now? Yeah, it kicked me out. It kicked me out. Caping so hard. This narrative that she's a Black woman and vote is gonna get behind her because Trump, they're pushing it to say Trump is a sexist, he disrespects women, he's a felon, and then now they bringing it up. Okay, let him run against a female because somebody thought this was a good idea, and they can come in and play everything but politics. Or he don't like women. He grew. He don't feel like a woman should be power. And their goal is to get the message out to Negro women or colored women. So American women will say that. And the games that they play, I don't think it's gonna be, enough. So right here we're gonna hear. They said the mic's still choppy. Hey, my mic's still choppy. I don't even have my mic on. Hold on, let me put my mic on. I don't even have it on today. Hold on, I don't even have it on. All right, I'm on now. Mic check, mic check. Okay, Vito said I'm good now. They say fading in and out. Okay, I just put the microphone on. We got 256 in the building. Hey, y'all, make sure y'all jump on the like button. Make sure y'all share that. Yeah, man. My internet been tripping. Girly, it have been tripping. All right. They said okay. The mic. They said the mic sound better. The mic sound better. So let's go here. So Van Jones say we about to see something that we ain't never seen before because Black men are not gonna let you disrespect Black women. Let's walk.
Political experts and Van Jones, I want to bring in our panel of political experts. And Van Jones, I'll start with you. You saw that energy at Kamala Harris's first campaign rally where she announced she had the best fundraising day in American campaign history. How are you thinking about this remarkable shift among the Democrats in just the past 2 days.
Oh, free at last, free at last. Kamala Harris is unleashed. She's just brilliant. She's just, the energy that's coming off of her is the energy that's coming off of the American people. Look, I mean, this is 2008 vibes already. She's done in literally 48 hours things that were considered impossible. She got the nomination. She took over cultural. She's a cultural phenomenon now. TikTok loves her. She raised more money than anybody. She signed up 50,000 people. You can do your whole career and not get 50,000 volunteers. She did it in 48 hours. You are witnessing the birth of a cultural phenomenon, and you need a cultural phenomenon to stop a cultural phenomenon. Donald Trump is a cultural phenomenon. So now you've got two superpowers colliding, but this one just came out of nowhere. Listen, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, people were like, Kamala Harris, I don't know, she can't win, I don't like her, blah, blah, blah. All those people are marching in line and getting in formation. It's unbelievable to watch.
It's very impressive indeed. And David Chalian, we take a look at some of these numbers. 1.1 million individual donors just in the past couple of days or so. 62% of them, that's about 680,000 individuals here in the United States, were first-time contributors. So how does the Harris campaign keep this momentum going?
Well, it's going to be tough to keep the momentum going at the level that you shoot out of the launch with. That is true for most campaigns, but they are going to have to find ways to keep resupplying more new donors, more grassroots activism, more volunteer signups, and they will aim to do so. The reality is those metrics, Wolf, are they're not just talking points. I mean, this is real. This is those contributions, the signups. Those are real numbers that show a different kind of enthusiasm. Biden's campaign was suffering from a pretty significant enthusiasm gap. That has completely closed right now.
Certainly has. Very impressive indeed. Ashley Ellison, you heard Kamala Harris really draw on her experience as a prosecutor. She was the attorney general in California, district attorney in San Francisco. How effective do you think this line of attack against? But listen to what Trump told reporters.
He has very great confidence in his debate.
Decide whether or not they should debate people based on their polling numbers. I think that when you decide to be a candidate, you should get up and debate your opponents. Donald Trump wouldn't do that in the primaries. He definitely should do that with Kamala Harris. We as voters deserve that.
Yeah, I think a lot of people agree with you on that. Van, Republicans today are trying to distance themselves from some lawmakers' supposedly racial attacks on Kamala Harris. But listen to what Trump told reporters this afternoon.
Oh, that's another one they're going to try to do, play the race card. But you know what? The internet is not having it. And I'm glad, too, because a lot of people are bringing up these posts and they're pointing out the fact that she's not like us. So she shot a fly slug and they have on these different stages. She in Houston yesterday. She been speaking to HBCUs. So they're really trying to, paint this picture of a black woman, and they gonna use race, same thing the Dems have been using, and the whole time they've been the racists. So let's walk.
Noon about Harris's debate against Biden back in the 2016 election cycle. Listen to this.
She was by far the nastiest to Joe Biden. That's why I was so surprised that he took her. There was nobody nastier than her. She played the race card at a level that you rarely see, and she really was very nasty to him, and then he picked her. So I don't get that exactly. Now they act like they're great friends, but you don't really recover from that.
So what do you make of that, Van?
Oh, that's his favorite word to use about women. Nasty, 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 like he's Janet Jackson or something. Look, here's reality. The Republican Party is going to have to resist its worst impulses to make this a racial, gender, trash truck of insult and innuendo against this candidate. I don't want to hear it. She checked a box by winning at the local level. I voted for her at the local level in San Francisco when she was my district attorney. I voted for her when she was attorney general in California. I voted for her as a senator. I voted for her as vice president. What more boxes can you check?
Tay said, I don't like her. She legendary. say, I don't like her. She like people for truancy. And you know what? I seen the video with her bragging about it. Yeah, I saw a video. She was on there bragging about it.
The only people who've been giving her special treatment are voters who keep electing her. And so I don't want to hear it. And the Republicans who are smart will separate themselves from this nasty stuff really quickly. And the ones who are not will go along with it. Let's have a straight up competition. Someone who's won at the local, state, and federal level, who served with honor and distinction, versus somebody who has been a con artist his whole life and who led an insurrection. Nobody has to insult anybody's race or gender. Let's just put the records out there and have a clean fight. But the Republican Party will tarnish itself irrevocably. By the way, Republican Party has been trying to get black folk over there, trying to get black men over there.
And they have been successful. They even putting out, bringing out more colored men into the fold now, getting people get to know them. They got one guy over there out of Brooklyn. He got me nervous, but he's there to counter all of that. Now, he say, let's just have a foul one, shoot a foul one. Honestly, bro, they shoot a foul one. That lady can't do nothing with Trump. She's not as popular as him. That's why the media is portraying as if she is very popular in quote unquote black circles, which is not true. That's why that counterattack on the internet, where you see a lot of people, and I encourage y'all to keep doing it. They're posting and they're reminding people, because some of our people are still stuck on the plantation mind. They still blind and can't see. So the internet is doing a great job of, getting the information out and getting awareness out that she's not like us.
Trying to get Latinos over there, they're going to lose all of that if they start insulting black women the way that they're starting this yesterday.
Ashley, what do you think?
Look, a week ago we were at the RNC and we all said we were going to turn the temperature down. We're not throwing bringing race and gender into this is part of turning the temperature down. You either can walk the walk and talk the talk, or don't come to me with this unity talk.
And let me just say, I just want to say how absurd what Donald Trump said there was.
Yes.
He was blaming Kamala Harris, blaming Joe Biden for selecting Kamala Harris as the running mate, given all the things she criticized Joe Biden about. Have you looked at what J.D. Vance has said about Donald Trump? Like, it just makes absolute...
Man, we ain't trying to hear all that. All right, now let's get over here. Let's see how important. Here she go right here speaking to the Zeta Phi Beta sorority.
United States, Kamala.
These are, but you got to understand, these institutions from them. A lot of when the fraternities first started out, they started off as clubs, and led into these, these different school fraternities, and so bloodlines are going through there. So it's just like the black church, and they're organized and they have chapters all around, like we down in the pyramids. And they were saying, I know some of them came from Hampton. And then I'm not sure if others came, but they were coming from different chapters of it. So let's walk.
Kamala Harris.
Now,
she has provided years of support and friendship, and she always, like everyone here knows, she always shows up, and I'm so, so deeply grateful. Thank you. And to everyone here, it is so good to be with you. To the former presidents who are in attendance, to the International Board of Directors, and to all of the fine members of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. It is my great, great honor to be with you today. And I love you back. And also, on Air Force Two, joining me is Congresswoman Sydney Kamlager-Dove. And I know here is also our dearest Mrs. Opal Lee, the grandmother of Juneteenth. Oh, she was right. And to all of
the grandmother of Juneteenth. Y'all know that story was made up in their administration. Again, trying to cater to our people emotions. No different than this cop shooting that just happened. You know, with the young lady, they gonna Trayvon Martin her. They gonna use her like they did with George Floyd and all of these. It's the same tactics we keep seeing. They're running the same playbook, and it's bad. You know what I'm saying? It's you know, I was talking to my people in them overseas the other day, and they was like, man, they really have America, this what they call it, the states. They really have the states looking bad, you know, right now. Let's walk.
the distinguished ladies, I thank you so very much for this warm welcome and experience. Joe Biden is a leader with bold vision. He cares about the future. He thinks about the future. He has extraordinary determination and profound compassion for the people of our country. And I say that because I know that we are all deeply, deeply grateful for his service to our nation. And to the sisters of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, I thank you for your incredible service to our nation as well. You know, I know who we all are. I know who is here. And I know, therefore, that we share a vision for the future of our nation.
Oh,
a
yeah?
future where every person has the opportunity not just to get by, but to get ahead.
Wow.
A future of social justice,
Yeah.
health justice, economic justice, just as you have laid out in this year's theme. Ours is a vision of a future in which we realize the
That we don't need niggas in this country no more.
promise of America. And I deeply believe in the promise of America, a promise of freedom, opportunity.
All right. You know what? That's enough of that. You ain't gonna rock us to sleep. Hey, Mr. TD, I need that video, fam. Well, Kamala was on there giving a recipe. Did y'all see that? So, Kamala was giving a recipe on how to cook. Did y'all see that? She said, get you some salt and pepper. And I mean, just everywhere. Get you some time. On there trying to talk like she's somebody big mama in the kitchen. Get you some butter. Get you some large sticks of butter. Get on the inside. Put that butter in there. And then put basil and thyme on it. And set it in the oven. I said, man, if you don't go nowhere, man, can somebody find me that clip? Because a lot of people ain't going to believe me. Can y'all get that clip? Tay say she said put greens in the tub. Y'all don't want no plate? Do anybody want a plate? Do anybody want a plate? Check it out. So they say black women went all out. They say black women went all out. I think they had like 40,000 women on the Zoom call. That's what they told us. How, you know, we don't know how they organized it, but that's what they told us. And so Roland Morton said he came back the next day talking about we got to get on the phone with the guys and say they had 55,000 men come in. Let's walk.
the founder of Win with Black Women, which organized that call of Harris supporters with 90,000 attendees. Also with me are Angela Rye, co-host of the Native Land podcast and former executive director and general counsel to the Congressional Black Caucus, and Alexis McGill Johnson, president of the Planned Parenthood Federation of America and the Planned Parenthood Action Fund. Both Alexis and Angela attended that organizing call, but Joteka, you organized it. So I'd love to start with you. I mean, first of all, who even knew that 90,000 people could do anything all at the same time on the internet without something crashing? But talk to me how it came together and what it was like to get the number of RSVPs, just the interest that apparently electrified a real part of the American electorate.
Well, there's just two words. It's Kamala Harris. And it was quite historic to be in unity and in coalition with so many Black women and some of our allies that joined that call as well. And that night, we had just a powerful moment of unity, unified around one goal, and that was our commitment to seeing and ensuring that Vice President Kamala Harris is the next president of the United States. And it was great to be there with both Alexis and Angela, who have been a part of the Win with Black Women collective for the last 4 years. So we have been meeting on most Sunday nights for the last 4 years. We came together 4 years ago around our collective outrage against the racism and sexism that we were seeing in the narrative as it related to Vice President Kamala Harris when she was being discussed as a nominee for vice president on the 2020 presidential ticket. And we kept those meetings going. And on Sunday night, we had a standing call because Black women had been organizing. Beautiful letter that Melanie Campbell penned that where Black women were speaking very boldly about our support of the Biden-Harris ticket. And when we got the news, we knew that our agenda was going to shift a bit. And we knew that we were going to have increased interest in the call. But my goodness, the fire that was lit, and we had 44,000, I believe, on the actual Zoom, and another 50,000 Black women that were in Clubhouse and on other Zooms, because we all knew that in that moment, one, we wanted to be united. Two, we wanted to be in sisterhood with each other. And three, we knew we had to get to work. And that was what that call was about. It was about celebrating this historic moment, but it was just as much about getting the work. And that's why you saw the $1.5 million raised led by Star Jones. And you saw, 10,000 women sign up to organize. And this is just caught on. And we're seeing Black men, the powerful call that they had last night, and other allies are following suit and organizing calls, because we are all just excited about Vice President Kamala Harris, not only what she represents, but the incredible record that she has had.
Of course, it was a standing call, right? I mean, it's like, guess what? Black women are organizing even when the world is not watching, right? Even when nobody's talking about it, the work goes on, the fight continues. Alexis, I take to heart what Joteka is saying about it wasn't just celebration, it was also marching orders. It sounds like there was kind of, there's a strategy behind all of this, which is not just about protecting Kamala Harris, but also going on the offense in terms of what Donald Trump and his allies may try to do to her in the coming months. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, first of all, we've been clear that Donald Trump is an existential threat to the Black community and to all of the rights and freedoms that we care about, to the very democracy that we are trying to save in this moment. I think what felt so powerful on Sunday night, right, is that we are used to being called in to lead. We are used to being called in. And that was actually just the leadership and the work and the brilliance of Joteka and all of our sisters who have been meeting for so long. But this felt like we were in a moment where we had the power to dream, right? It's different. It's different when you actually see that. And I think that inspiration and that moment when 44,000 Black women are on a call and we are taking those marching orders, and we were talking about knowing in this moment, the amount of sexism and racism and violence that can be coming at our leaders.
Come on, fam. What racism? How? She Asian. They got a protection. You can go fed for that. Do y'all see the propaganda? And they're using women. They're using our women. They want to use color when we're not getting nothing out of that. We're not getting anything out of it. See, last year, Madonna say it's over for my dog Trump. Why you say that, Madonna? You think it's up? This ain't, listen. This is all propaganda. You feel me? Trump got real voters. And they're talking, but it's you got a lot of quote unquote black voters out there who are seeing through this. And that's what I'm saying. A lot of people on the internet, they're showing that this narrative of this black woman being attacked and they're saying, no, we don't claim her. They're saying we don't claim her. And so we got to continue, they got to continue to get that message out. Because this is just a counter. This is a PR counter. Do you see how fast they were able to get the machine in motion? These grassroots groups and all of these type of things, they're organizing all of these. I'm sorry. Right now, Trump is trying to stop Kamala from getting the donations and money that was raised for Biden. Because right now they got a big machine around them. But I'm going to tell you, it's a lot of very, very important people in big money that they're putting behind Trump. This is actually going to be a harder fight for them, as we seen the president get the V, and so that could be a possibility they can start to, unleash that weapon that they have in their back pocket as well. What they would like to see is, they want to vote on those machines again, which will give them a better chance. Before as a one-on-one head up, Trump has too much momentum right now.
At our at many leaders who are going to be on that call, and how we have to take the helm and ensure that she knows that our hands are.
Oh, they say Elon got something on Trump. You got people like Elon and them dropping on him. Okay, I ain't know that one.
On her back, supporting her, holding, so she can do what she needs to do out there. And so taking that work and continuing on was the most incredible moment.
Angela, can you talk a little bit about, sort of how you came away from that call and where you think the greatest amount of work needs to be done as it concerns Vice President Harris, the de facto nominee?
Absolutely. First, I just want to really take this time to honor the work, the toil that when we don't see it, that Joteka Edie puts into these calls with Win with Black Women. And she isn't just this way on organizing these calls. She's this way about protecting our interests at all times, whether it's helping a Black woman director in Hollywood to ensure we're all watching that film, to a pardon for Marilyn Mosby, which is much deserved, to bringing Brittany Griner back home, which is also much deserved. And all of those things are tied very much to the legacy of Kamala Harris. And that is what this call was about. I was on the call and got off because I was at.
Yeah, y'all support the show. Goddamn, we ain't been getting no support all month, really. All month, we really ain't been getting no support. Goddamn, one of these days, we need some, y'all show some love to this channel. Make sure y'all like and share too. They ain't putting us in the algorithm right now. We need to get back in the algorithm.
The Roots concert.
And it's gonna start by the people engaging, with the channel, which alerts YouTube to put you in the algorithm.
With my family in Seattle, and Joteka hit me back and was like, "You need to come back on," and I was right there because she is our fearless leader. And it's my honor to walk shoulder to shoulder with her. I think what we have to be mindful of now, we had a celebratory moment on Sunday, and at the same time, just as Alexis was saying, there were marching orders flying. And so while we can have relief and while we can celebrate, we also know that the work is just beginning. Now, what Kamala Harris is up against is folks talking about her sleeping her way to the top. Yep. Now what she's up against is folks lying about her border record, calling her a border czar. Now what she's up against are folks.
Hold on, but ended those lies. No lies detected. Y'all not finna come out here and say that. Now what folks are saying, she slept her way to the top. Everybody know that. That's why they're saying, what have you done? Everything you done, and they'll come back and say, well, look at her record. Well, a lot of those, she did, it wasn't because of her talent, her skills, or her knowledge, or her brain, or her schooling. Maybe her brain. Somebody said, no, Chief, maybe the brain. But yeah, she haven't done anything to be in those positions. She was put there because of other talents she possessed.
Questioning her ethnicity, questioning her fidelity to Black culture.
Okay, so I listen, y'all. So they see the pushback that's coming. But see, nobody told y'all to go close that door and say y'all was gonna come out here and run this propaganda on her being a Black woman and Black. He's saying that she don't even have no. She didn't adopted her husband's children. For y'all to come out here and try to make her relate to us when her whole rap she says she don't fuck with us. She know nothing about the culture. So how you gonna bring her out here as a pillar or ask us to stand behind two different? Got to deal with all of these things. To the top. They're questioning her nationality. What do you mean, fam? Why are y'all trying to push a narrative on someone like we don't understand the facts? Because y'all are trying to cater to the emotions of Black people. I always say this: Black people are Black is politics. Black is politics, man. Black is a political party that the Dems use in times of election as a front, because they're pawns and they don't actually hold power, but they act as though they have power for them to come in and have a legitimate argument on why they're getting these votes or putting these seats. Now, a lot of Blacks did vote for a long time, but we're in a new day now. Like when back in the game, a lot of Blacks went to church. Now a lot not, because people start seeing the light. People start seeing past the bullshit, and right now you call niggas ain't sleep no more. They up, and now you got to come here and look at her, got the wrinkles in the head, and you mad because a nigga saying she ate dick to get to where she at today.
Folks lying about her border record, calling her a border czar. Now what she's up against is folks lying about her border record, calling her, saying there were marching orders flying. And so while we can have relief and while we can celebrate, we also know that the work is just beginning. Now what Kamala Harris is up against is folks talking about her sleeping her way to the top. Now what she's up against is folks lying about her border record, calling her a border czar. Now what she's up against are folks questioning her ethnicity, questioning her fidelity to Black culture, to the people. This is a woman who pledged AKA at Howard University. It's ridiculous. And so we know already, we are Black women who've been passed over for promotions at our jobs. We are Black women who have been underpaid and overworked. We know that we are under attack from the womb to the tomb. And to that end, there is no better fighter in this particular moment than Kamala Harris. It was a divine appointment on Sunday. It will be a divine appointment through the 100+ days until the election. We've got our work cut out for us. I don't even endorse candidates. This ain't even about that. To me, this is about doing the right thing to protect the democracy that this country has said it stands on and believes in. And there is no better champion for that than Kamala Harris. There's nobody better to prosecute the case against Donald Trump than Kamala Harris. We all know that. We're all very clear. And so with divine timing and some good marching orders from Joteka, we're ready to go.
It's such a point well taken about the
My nigga Tony in the building. What's up, Tony?
The bigness of this moment, Alexis, and the fact that the anti-fascist coalition, the pro.
Hold on. They ain't the only one caping.
Megyn Kelly, who unfortunately is.
Whoa, hold up. Let me go find my joint. Hey, jump on that like button, goddamn me, and show some love. Let me see. I don't want to go to Roland Moore. I'm gonna let Roland Moore go last. We're gonna let him go last. Let me see. I want to go to the Black Caucus. Okay, well, we'll go here. Check it out.
Kamala Harris is the daughter of an Indian and Jamaican immigrant who married a Jewish man. Her experience is the American dream and melting pot, but not really the Black experience, particularly that in southern swing states like Georgia and North Carolina. I doubt he knows any Black people because.
So a lot of people are bringing to the forefront, you know, that what is all of this Black woman talk? What is all this African American talk? It's so many people pointing out the fact that we know who this lady is, and she's not who y'all are trying to portray her to. And for years, all the way back, you go back to Malcolm them saying that when JFK played on niggas and they got him in office and they ain't get nothing. And Malcolm came out and was vocal about how Black people are being used by the Democratic Party. Okay, they're fiddling with their emotions, make all of these promises and give them nothing. And so today they back with this narrative, and it's a bad candidate. It's no different than when Hillary Clinton was running. It was she had so many skeletons in her closet, it was impossible. And no different with Kamala. Just the fact that you're trying to cater or bring this woman off to bring this woman to us as someone who she's not, and we have the information that she's not. I think that's gonna hurt them in their campaign down the run, especially as when microphones start getting in, because you can use all of the propaganda you want. Oh, he's being sexist, he's being racist, and I'm not racist. You're not an African American. And so watch this here. Roland Martin them gonna get mad.
Because this woman literally went to Howard University.
But does Eric
she went to Howard University in the Black sorority. What do that mean? That don't mean she's Black because you joined the sorority and you hung around them. Why they keep saying that, family? She literally went to Howard. What do that have to do with anything? She went to Howard. So what? Hey, Whirling Thunder, DM me, fam. I need your shoe size. I need your shoe size, fam. I'm gonna send you some BCU slippers too, man. I got the shirt, I got the shorts, I got the socks, and we gotta send you the slippers. Whirling Thunder. We got the shirt for you. We got BCU shorts, BCU socks. We got 3 pair of socks, and we gonna send you some BCU slippers. So slide. So let me DM me and let me know your size. All right, 100. KJ say going to college equal Black. Apparently, that's what it sounds like. She went. What do you mean she's not Black? She went to a HB. What the fuck do that mean? You know how many foreign students go to HBCUs now?
But does Eric Erickson know the origin story of Jamaicans?
No, I don't.
Do you know?
What the origin story of Jamaican got to do with anything right now? Huh? We not asking for no origin story. Is she what y'all call an African American or not? Not. I seen a video with Dane. He had both of the pictures up. One side it said the first Asian, Indian, American, and then, you know, a few moments later, now she's the first African American. You know, it's craziness.
Know where Jamaicans are from? Do you know the origin story? It's called Africa.
Lord have mercy. So why y'all not introducing her as an African? Y'all talking about she Black. Y'all talking about she one of us. We not going with that. She's from Africa, because this lady in the middle from Haiti. So you know it's no different than what you doing. You are out here playing like you are African American to share the experience, and y'all ain't. That's why y'all ain't never got nothing good to say about us. Because that black and that those things are how y'all get in. Just like it wouldn't work for you if you was to come out, they would say, well, hey, you're not us. And the only reason why y'all sitting in them seats is because y'all are not us. And they do not want any representation or voice for people who are like us. So y'all are there to replace us. Y'all are there to sit there in disguise. You feel me? And we play this kinfolk game. But see, once they saying these things about her, Kamala, they'll say the same things about you too, little mama, Miss Joy.
Just because they are in Jamaica doesn't mean that's where they originated.
Very quick.
Well, then let's find the answers out. Because what part of Africa you from? With that European edge up.
Last word.
Sorry.
And Eric, come on. Eric, you the king of mayonnaise. So please, let's not.
The king of mayonnaise. So you ain't stuck no butter knife in the mayonnaise jar?
Talk about seasoned chicken when you are unseasoned chicken. Please. This sister grew up.
Check him out. Watch him cape for. Listen to this.
In Oakland, in the Bay Area. She know black folks. And Eric, it's a lot of.
He say she grew up in the Bay Area. He say this sister grew up in the Bay Area. She know black folks. She know them. We ain't ask you if she know them. We asked you, was she? What is she? We didn't ask you about she grew up there. So she went to a school. She grew up there. Come on, man. Y'all gotta do something better. Cause that ain't gonna get it, fam. That ain't gonna get it, fam. Hold on, man. I'm looking for one. Man. Hold up. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, here you go. Well, I don't want the whole thing. Man. All right, we'll do this here. Hold on, cause here come the Black Caucus. If our vote and our voice didn't mean so much, then why are the Dems, in order for them to campaign, they have to use us to get in? Now check the Black Caucus out showing out there.
And in that wisdom, he decided to standing up here today.
We're gathered here today
to first say thank you to President Joe Biden.
Yes.
He's done what he has done for his entire career, cared for America, standing up to do the right thing and putting people over politics and the country over all else. He loves democracy. He loves this country, and history will record him as one of the greatest presidents who have gotten us through some of the toughest times ever. We thank Joe Biden for being who he is, the leader that he is, and for the man that he is, and all the work that he's done. He's a statesman, and he's undoubtedly an individual that children yet unborn will look at the work and the accomplishments that he has made. And in that wisdom, he decided to make sure that he had someone beside him to make and win and have the accomplishments over the last 3-4 years. He made a commitment of having a person who created her own path as the AG, as a district attorney, as a U.S. senator, and as the vice president of the United States, and Kamala.
Tay, you see her? She back there full of them.
Appropriate person to.
She back there full of them meds. She ain't blink yet.
Now lead us. Her record of delivering for all Americans is exactly why she has the full and unanimous support of the Congressional Black Caucus. She helped restore the world's faith in America across the globe. And I can talk about that specifically watching her as the former chair, now ranking member. And when American people finish speaking in November, the chair again of the House Foreign Affairs Committee. I've watched her as she's visited over 20 countries. I've watched her as she's met with over 150 world leaders. In fact, if you check it out, she is the most experienced individual for our safety and security around the world. She has more experience than any of the past 4 presidents before President Biden.
Check them out.
She's the right person at the right time to get the job done. She's an individual who we know, who we've worked with, who was one of us, a member of the Congressional Black Caucus. And I gotta say, and I'm proud because she's also a Howard University graduate. Had to get that in.
They keep throwing that HBCU out there because they wanted to relate. They want her to relate to our people, trying to make her relatable. But we ain't heard from you in 3 years. You ain't done nothing in 3 years, ain't addressed us, nothing. Don't feel like you need to. And this whole immigrant crisis, you're in the middle of it too, because you were the plug between that and the Black Caucus, who's speaking very, very highly of you right now. And these are bloodlines. You see how old these people are? You know how long they've been in office? Look at Maxine back there. Been there for ages.
The real issue. Now, let me just say, the CBC PAC, the members of this great caucus, we now are on a mission. And the mission is to make sure that Kamala Harris is the next president of the United States.
By hook or crook. By hook or crook.
A short period of time, less than, little more than 24 hours, over $100 million have come into the campaign. And the CBC PAC, small dollar money. We're now, in just 2 days, over $1.5 million of small money that's just came in online because they're supporting in the excitement of Kamala Harris to be the next president of the United States. It's also in support, of course, of the historical opportunities, because what will take place at the same time or right before she's sworn in on January 20th, we'll be swearing in Hakeem Jeffries as the first Speaker of the United States House of Representatives. We'll also be looking forward to seeing Lisa Blunt Rochester elected to the United States Senate. And Angela also Brooks from Maryland to the United States Senate. And we will continue to expand the Congressional Black Caucus, we are 60 members strong. There's no limit on how much more we can grow and develop because it is a true reflection of America. And Colin Allred in Texas, another senator. But we are truly a reflection of the diversity of this great country. That's who we are. And that's what the Congressional Black Caucus represents. So we'll be going on
Nah, for real,
tours.
Keith, they finna lose
We'll be
it
having
out.
members in each and every battleground state. We'll be making sure that we have members in our front runners in the red, the blue states. We're going to be actively on the ground. We're going to visit over 1,000 voter engagements for Democrats across the country. And we're going to have a complete tour of which we're going to be delivering and giving out to individuals very, very shortly. We're working on that now. So let me conclude this simply by saying this. The camera of history is rolling. And every now and then, when you're living in a historic moment, sometimes you don't really understand it. Some of the people out there may not have gotten it. But this is history that is taking place right now. And it's going to be recording what we all do. And that history is going to reflect that the Congressional Black Caucus, who, as we said to a person, we were with Joe Biden and let him make his decision. And if it was not Joe Biden, it had to be the Vice President, Kamala Harris. That's who we are. It has been the Congressional Black Caucus that has had to step up in our constituencies at times to save America. Save it from the harms of an individual who we know is not worthy of being president of the United States. Simply look at who he is. Simply look at what he has done. This country never was more divided than under his 4 years of leadership here. We're going to repair it. We're going to fix it. We don't need to go back. He says, make America great again. I don't know what America they're talking about. We're going to go forward. We're going to make great America.
Hey, he said that this country was divided. What were we? What were we when all the division was going on? Like what country are you talking about? Brother, do you see how many people that look like us, even the culture, Trump pardoned Kodak Black? Man, listen, fam, we talking about the culture. What are you saying? What are you saying? It's been the most divided. Why? Because all y'all ass got kicked out? Because y'all had got demoted and y'all had to go back to y'all regular little old government jobs? Because see, when Trump come in, it's a whole new regime. They gonna lose the House, the Senate, all of that. And so a lot of these niggas that's taking food off a lot of these niggas' table. And you know, they're worried. The Black Caucus. When y'all gonna speak on matters? Y'all want our help, but y'all ain't willing to help us.
Live up to its true meaning of its creed. And with that, let me present the chairman of the Congressional Black Caucus, who has led in the forefront for the last 2 years.
Tay say Trump, he got Harry O.I. too. This nigga getting out drug kingpins and shit, man. Hip hop oils and come on, bro. Stop it. Y'all won't even put no stamps on the nigga card, on the nigga foods. We can't get emergency food stamps around here, hoe, nigga, through this administration. Boy, y'all showing that.
Yes, he understands it more than anyone else because when you look at his district, it is as diverse as America. He knows how to communicate to everyone. He is a leader's leader. Our friend, our chairman, Stephen Horsford.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am honored to be here. I'm
Boy, I didn't know you sound like
representing
that.
Nevada's 4th Congressional District, and I'm honored to stand here with my colleagues from the Congressional Black Caucus, the largest in our history with 60 members. representing 120 million Americans, 1/3 of the US population. We represent every region of the country. We have the youngest member of Congress and the dean of the House as members. We have every ideological perspective. And today we are here unified behind one purpose, and that is to win for the American people. Now, I come from a battleground state of Nevada. I represent a frontline district. I know how hard it is to win in difficult cycles. And I too want to stand with my colleagues in commending.
Somebody said that's Chief Hicks. Man, y'all, why y'all act like that? Somebody said that nigga sound like Chief Hicks. Why y'all act like that?
President Joe Biden, who I was with in my district last week, talking about the issues of housing and affordability and addressing the cost of rent and all the other issues that the Congressional Black Caucus stands for. I want to thank him for being such a consequential president at a time when our country needed the soul of our nation to be restored.
Really?
He did what he came to office to do. The Congressional Black Caucus stood with him, and one of the first decisions that he made was to select Vice President Kamala Harris as his governing partner. It's with the Vice President that we were able to achieve historic legislation, from the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Law, to the Inflation Reduction Act, to the American Rescue Plan, to the Chips and Science Law, to the bipartisan.
Man, get out of here, Chief Hicks. Get out of here, Chief Hicks. Now, another propaganda that they're putting on the people, and this is an old one that they've been using. Hold on. First, we're going to go through Joey B. Joey B, because you see, everyone who came to the defense and saying he's a hero, he did what was right, he's serving his country again, all his praise, it's the colored folk. That's who we come see. Oh, he did this and he endorsed, you know. Come on, fam. So let's listen to Joey B address the nation on why he stepped down.
Fellow Americans, I'm speaking to you tonight from behind the resolute desk in the Oval Office. In this sacred space, I'm surrounded by portraits of extraordinary American presidents. Thomas Jefferson wrote the immortal words that guide this nation. George Washington, who showed us presidents are not kings. Abraham Lincoln, who implored us to reject malice. Franklin Roosevelt, who inspired us to reject fear. I revere this office, but I love my country more. It's been the honor of my life to serve as your president.
Yeah.
But in the defense of democracy, which is at stake, I think is more important than any title. I draw strength and I find joy in working for the American people. But this sacred task of perfecting our union is not about me. It's about you, your families, your futures. It's about we, the people. And we can never forget that. And I never have. I've made it clear that I believe America is at an inflection point. One of those rare moments in history when the decisions we make now will determine our fate of our nation and the world for decades to come. America's going to have to choose between moving forward or backward, between hope and hate, between unity and division. We have to decide, do we still believe in honesty, decency, respect, freedom, justice, and democracy? In this moment, we can see those we disagree with not as enemies, but as fellow Americans. Can we do that? Does character in public life still matter? I believe I know the answer to these questions because I know you, the American people. And I know this, we are a great nation because we are good people. When you elected me to this office, I promised to always level with you, to tell you the truth,
He lied right
The
there.
truth, the sacred cause of this country is larger than any one of us. And those of us who cherish that cause, cherish it so much, the cause of American democracy itself, must unite to protect it. You know, in recent weeks, it's become clear to me that I need to unite my party in this critical endeavor. I believe my record as president, my leadership in the world, my vision for America's future, all merited a second term. But nothing can come in the way of saving our democracy. That includes personal ambition. So I've decided the best way forward is to pass the torch to a new generation. That's the best way to unite our nation. You know, there is a time and a place for long years of experience in public life. There's also a time and a place for new voices.
Joy,
Fresh
they
voices.
made you.
Yes,
they made you
younger
get out the way.
And that time and place is now. Over the next 6 months, I'll be focused on doing my job as president. That means I'll continue to lower costs for hardworking families, grow our economy. I'll keep defending our personal freedoms and our civil rights,
Bro, the
from the right to
economy,
vote to
nigga,
the
you
right to
done-
choose. I'll keep calling out hate and extremism. Make it clear there is no place in America for political violence or any violence ever, period. I'm going to keep speaking out to protect our kids from gun violence, our planet from climate crisis that is the existential threat. And I will keep fighting for my cancer moonshot so we can end cancer as we know it, because we can do it. I'm going to call for Supreme Court reform because this is critical to our democracy, Supreme Court reform. You know, I will keep working to ensure America remains strong.
Man, shut up and get out my face. They say that's an AI robot. What y'all think about that, family? I said a lot of people say that that's actually an AI robot. Now I'm gonna show you another one of their moves that they gonna come, right? Another one of their moves that they gonna come to us with.
Justice Department has opened an investigation into the death of a Black woman in Illinois who called 911 for help, only to be shot and killed by a responding deputy.
Now hold on. How many times have we seen this play? How many times have we seen this move right here? Well, I mean, every time they're in office, remember when Obama them and Joey B administration was in office, we seen so many unarmed police killings and all this. This was almost the theme of their whole presidential run. A lot of war and overseas foreign war. Every time they're in office, is dealing with foreign relations, overthrowing countries, and they definitely gonna have a war. So as we see here, no difference. And here they come back playing on the emotions. And you know, Biden spoke at he came on the screen, a big screen at George Floyd funeral, and the family said that they didn't even get, you know, I forgot which side pushed the narrative. I think they said Trump hung up in their face or something like that, you know. But we getting the same characters, same pieces on the keyboard whenever the Dems crank they propaganda machine up that run they play, because Black people, they own them, which is a political body, you know, that the Dems use to get laws, legislation passed, to get money that's not going to them, funding and different things of this nature, right? And then they pass it out as minorities. Anyway, let's check them out. Here come one of the oldest tricks in their book. We didn't watch them play, and we watched them bring out the same key players. Let's walk.
NBC News correspondent Maggie Vespa has the details and a warning. Some viewers may find this video extremely upsetting and disturbing.
I heard somebody outside.
Yeah, we checked your house, we checked your backyard. I walked all the way through all these backyards.
An Illinois woman's last moments seen in chilling detail on newly released body camera video. Prosecutors say on the morning of July 6th, 36-year-old Sonia Massey called 911 about a possible intruder. When two deputies arrived at her Springfield home, she at times appeared confused.
I'm trying to get help, y'all, but
What do you need help with?
nothing. I just, please, God, please, God.
Minutes later, Massey picks up what appears to be a pot of boiling water from her stove. The deputy on screen identified by prosecutors as Sean Grayson.
You better fuck. I swear to God, I'll shoot you right in your face.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Drop the pot. Drop the pot. Drop the shots fired. Shots fired. Shots fired.
The coroner confirming the mother.
Drop the pot. What the fuck, nigga? What the fuck a pot gonna do? Drop the pot. So you on some gangster shit. Now it's sad this happened to our sister. It's even sadder when they come out here and use it for politics to benefit themselves when really they don't care about it, because how many times we seen this happen and they play on people's emotions, or it might get convicted and the people walk away.
Mother of two was fatally shot in the head. Her body blurred by police in the video.
I'm not taking hot boiling water to the face.
Protests demanding charges against Deputy Grayson have mounted since. President Biden this week writing in a statement, Sonia's family deserves justice.
Huh? This is how they make it political. Biden. It's all a game. It's all a game.
He walked around the counter to get a better shot. If you're in fear for your life, you don't walk towards the person.
Civil rights attorney.
And who they go get? Huh? Every time something go down, when do this guy right here career flourish? During the times of the Dems. We always hear about him. Anything they got going on, this is their guy.
Attorney Ben Crump speaking alongside Massey's family, who say she'd suffered from mental health issues.
But you know what I want? I want justice for my baby. Yeah.
Grayson was fired from his job with the sheriff's department, and a grand jury has now indicted him on 3 counts of first-degree murder. His attorney declining to comment when reached by NBC News. Now the world seeing for themselves how one woman's call for help took such a tragic turn.
What is your last name?
Reverend Now, your thoughts? There's a lot of reporting coming out of this about what was actually said at the...
Huh? All of the key players come out, huh? They keep bringing out all of the key players. Do we got the crew? Did they put the gang back together that fast? All propaganda. They've been doing this to us for so long. This particular one, since the Obama administration, since we met Ben Crump, Trayvon Martin, and the rest, and the list goes on. All of these type of things. And they've been playing on niggas for years. But for all of these people who are out here leading these quote unquote black groups, they have no counter to this, because they too, just like these gatekeepers, serve a purpose. That's why nothing get done. They don't even want to do nothing. But it's all right now, Umar and them and a lot of these Pan-African, a lot of these black leaders or talking heads, guess what? They always popping during this era. They got rich during the Obama administration because it was 8 years it took. So every time these type of conversations comes up, the black community has a new momentum behind it. and they are being used as a pawn on the chessboard. A small one, but a necessary one. To look like there's opposition or there's someone who's going against, you know what I mean, what they're putting down on the other side. It just makes it look good. Nothing's gonna happen, but they're able to control the people with their message and keep them distracted. But guess who shows up? And he mad and he mugging, and check him out.
The scene when others came to see what happened and family members showed up, what they were told versus what was seen on that body cam video.
No, this is an outrage is almost an understatement. I mean, it's almost an execution to see a woman stand there with hot water that he told her to take off the stove, and then he shoots her, comes around the counter to shoot her. I mean, this is the worst video I've seen, and I'm saying I did George Floyd's funeral and the marches.
Right.
And this is even worse. I know that I talked with the father, Mr. Wilburn, on yesterday with Attorney Ben Crump, Attorney General of Black America. We're going to be rallying. She had 2 children. And we're having a rally in Chicago with Reverend Marshall Hatch and Ira Ackrey on Tuesday to rally around her children and to give them some support. That I'll be going into Chicago with Reverend Hatch and Ackrey to support Mr. Wilbur and her father and her 2 children. The policeman has been indicted and been prosecuted, but that only is the first step toward justice. And we want to see that these children are handled and see the support and feel the support of the community.
All right, Rev, of course, we will be following this story.
Same old faces, huh? Same old faces.
For coming out today. I'm Teresa Haley, president of Haley and Associates in Visions 1908. We are here again because of the tragedy of Miss Sonia Massey. I don't know if you slept last night after seeing the video. It was very difficult for me, and it was my 3rd time. Each time I watch it, I think about Black women all over America being hunted. We have something to be afraid of. Those of us who have sons and daughters, we used to be concerned about our sons, but now we're concerned about the Black woman as well. I am so grateful to be here today with Attorney Crump, but especially the Massey family. This day means so much to us that the mother
came out there draped like an African on y'all, huh? Got on the African garb. And they're going to use this because it's a female case, and this happened. This didn't just happen. It happened at the beginning of the month. No different than the Marbury, remember? They brought his case back up from February. Trayvon Martin case was an old case. They're going to use hers because it's a female. Okay? And they're going to talk about this Black women need to stick together, different feministic ideas, and and they're gonna cater to it this way. And it's sad, we do want justice for the young lady, for our sister, but we don't want them to exploit her, you know what I mean, for their political gain. And then in the end, after they get what they want, because this case ain't gonna be tried this year, you know what I mean? This is just for election, and then next year, when the trial comes, we'll see him piss on the steps, walk free, piss on the steps.
the son, the daughter, the father thought it was important for all of us to be here together. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Attorney Ben Crump. Attorney Ben?
Thank you. Thank you again, Teresa, for allowing us to be in the facility to comfort the family and to try to continue to make sure we get justice for Sonia Massey. I'm here with Attorney Natalie Jackson, Attorney Paul Greinke, Attorney Jennifer Hightower, and as Teresa said, Miss Donna, her mother, Mr. James, her father, her children, Summer and Malachi, and a host of cousins and uncles and aunts. The updates are these. Number one, we've been informed that now DOJ is opening an investigation, the Department of Justice, which is welcome because there have been some concerns and revelations by the family that we think needs to be investigated and addressed completely. Number two, the family had a meeting with Governor Pritzker and Lieutenant Governor, and it was an hour-long meeting, and they were very personal with Ms. Donna and Malachi and Mr. James and Summer. They expressed, especially the Lieutenant Governor, that she's the mother of 4 Black daughters. So it is very personal. The governor gave his commitment that the state will use all their resources to make sure that equal justice is paramount, that they will be partners in justice, because they understood that oftentimes Sonia Massey's of the world don't get due process of the law, and that they were committed to saying this is going to be a fair and transparent investigation and process at every level. And I think Ms. Donna was very open with the governor, saying,
boy, that's a slow talking ass nigga, ain't it? Fam, if you don't speed your words up, that's a slow talking ass nigga, boy.
The trouble.
That's why he be losing all them trials.
There's a lot of times in the Black community, we see that when the police kill us, they put on administrative leave. She called it a vacation, and then nothing really happens. And she wanted to ensure that that ain't gonna happen here. Mr. James Wilburn, her father, was a little more forceful. He talked about, he don't understand why he was ever hired in the first place. The fact that he had 2 DUIs, Mr. James says he.
All right, I can't listen to this slow talking ass nigga. You gotta go. Get your blue black ass off my screen. Blurple face ass nigga. Blurple complected ass nigga, man. Foreign face, foreign to the states face ass nigga. All right, where we gonna go with it? The black vote turnout. We're going to Philly with it.
Or is anybody undecided still?
I'm very undecided.
Undecided. Who they're voting for? Or is anybody undecided still?
I'm very undecided.
Undecided.
Right now, inflation. So I'm monitoring who's talking the most about inflation. Re-entry. I would like to see everyone who is a criminal with federal charges still be able to vote. If we can have a criminal for president, we need to allow some voting rights back that were taken illegally in the first place.
How hard has inflation hit you?
It hit me hard. It's hitting me hard.
Who do you blame for it?
I blame the federal government at this point. If a working class mom who works as a paralegal cannot buy a $2 bell pepper because it's now $5, imagine a mother living on food stamps. Imagine a mother who's making minimum wage trying to feed children. They're killing us without killing us. If you understand that, they're killing us without telling us they're killing us. They're hurting people in ways that they can't help themselves. It's either feed my child or how about feed my children and I don't eat, but I have to go work.
Black voters are taken for granted, i.e. they make you promises and they don't deliver. What do you care about most right now?
What are they going to do for my people that lives in the communities where I am from? The gun violence is second in my mind, but it's what can they do for us? How can they help? How can they go into a home and help that family to save their children? We need the funding. We want the help. But in my opinion, it starts at home.
It starts at home.
I'm seeing a lot of memes, you know, as shrugs, Indian gang of don't bang. Shrugs, you know, we was all in Mexico. They was hitting up Indian gang of no bang. Yeah. We just left Mexico. They on there, Indian gang of don't bang. Yeah. And then somebody said bang bang. Yeah, somebody came behind and said bang bang. Yeah. So, you know, right now they are damn, I forgot my thought. I just had a thought. I was going somewhere with it.
Jaleel, what about you? What is
starts at home?
Starts at home. Jaleel, what about you? What is
okay. All the money that they're going around saying how much money they made. They had 90, you know, they had thousands of women and men on Zoom calls, and they talked about all the money that they raised and how Harris has raised the most donations in 24 hours. And America looked like a third world country today. If these type of fundraisers and these things are possible, why not put it back into the country? Why not invest it into the people? You know, they come out here and talk about how many jobs. We got the greatest economy in the world. Look at all the jobs we took. No, bro, it could be way different. There's countries, and I'm not just saying this, but it's countries where you get a check every month from the country. You get free education. You get free medical care. It should be free vocational training and all of these type of things, skill training. This is how you make it great. This is how you make a country great. These things should be there. You have countries that are considered poor, but they have these qualities in their government. So the quality of people that you get, the advancement of China is not because scientists and other like minds who went to university or went to college and gained this knowledge and came back and brought it to the world. No, it's because in damn near every individual, we're gonna give you the opportunity to be as great as you want to be without having to stress about if you have the money to do so or the necessary resources to do so. And so that is a great part of the problem. The American government is not investing into America, infrastructure, or the people, because you got to understand there are generations to come. So we have to start instilling some of this greatness in them in order for us to continue on into the future, because a lot of people, they're making moves for themselves today, and to have those that came, whether by hook or crook, for them to have the experiences here in this lifetime. So what I'll say to that is start investing in the people. Start investing into these cities. That's how you make America great.
Most important to you right now?
Economics, education, reentry, reform.
Reentry to the criminal justice system.
Exactly. We need to save ourselves.
That's right.
If we're looking for somebody to save us, it's not going to happen.
If you look at Philadelphia and you took the most impoverished areas in Philadelphia, and then you took the crime rate where the most crime is happening in Philadelphia, and you laid it right there, it would almost match up perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're seeing that much of a correlation between poverty and crime, you have to address that on some level. If we invest in our schools, invest in our youth, we will see some changes there.
The way I would articulate it is quality of life issues, how we live our everyday lives, right? So if that's jobs, if that's housing, if that's gun violence, if that's education, like everything that makes our lives good, that's what I vote for in mind.
Who votes with guns in mind on a federal level? When you cast your ballot at a presidential election for senators, for members of Congress?
Now, when you say guns in mind, mine is
Gun gun control, issues surrounding guns, background checks. All of you do.
Yes. I mean, that's us voting with us in mind.
Yeah.
You understand? When you say that, like this
You're
is
talking about your family.
You know,
Yes.
like when you ask me, am I voting with guns in mind? I'm voting. That means I'm voting with me in mind, because I could very much be a victim of gun violence.
You got to keep talking about it, keep talking about it. You have to consistently let people know this is not normal. It doesn't seem like people are angry enough to say no more, no more.
And we're going to keep talking about it. I checked in with these voters after the attempted assassination of the former president this past week, and they told me while it has not changed their positions on who they're going to vote for, they're still undecided. It does.
Speaking of the assassination attempt on Trump, they actually been building on it. Let's go through some of these. Let's go through some of these questions. They're trying to figure out what's going on. Let me get it out. All right, let's try to start from there.
Exceeded those responsibilities based on everything that I know as I sit here 10 days in.
I think there's still a lot of questions regarding the plan.
As per the earlier statement of 18,000 law enforcement agencies across the United States, it would be very difficult, I would assert, for the Secret Service to operate all across the United States and have each individual agency telling the Secret Service how the operation should be run. They're the lead agency. If that was something that their protocols called for during the initial meeting when preliminary steps and agencies were brought together, that would be something that would be discussed typically.
The AGR building, did your guys on the ground there ever voice concerns to the Secret Service for not putting somebody on that building?
So I suppose the best sequence of events that I can give you is that PSP was notified by email on July 5th about this event. There was an initial planning meeting where we had commanders present on Monday, July 8th. So over Tuesday the 9th and Wednesday the 10th, those commanders that we designated, basically our orders are from the front office, my team on down. We work collaboratively with the Secret Service, collaborate, give them what we can. The final walkthrough occurred on the 11th. Present at that meeting were the two commanders that were tasked with both staffing the security checkpoints on the interior of the secure perimeter, as well as the commander who was going to be in charge of the motorcade. But in addition to that, a PSP area commander was on that walkthrough, holding the rank of major.
Could you share a little bit of insight? I appreciate the timeline, but could you share a little bit, because I only have about a minute.
I apologize.
Yeah, the specific to the AGR building.
So on that walkthrough, our area commander asked specifically who was responsible for the AGR building, and we were told that Butler ESU was responsible for that area by several Secret Service agents on that walkthrough.
Okay. All right. One last question. Real quick, I mean, I'll let you comment.
Man, hurry up, boy. You ain't got that long.
A sniper from being up there.
I don't believe so, sir.
Okay, thank you. I yield. I now recognize the ranking member for his 5 minutes of question.
All right, so check it. So what was interesting to me about this, I watched this yesterday. Homeland Security Committee holds a hearing on the Trump assassination attempt. Well, what was interesting, what caught my ear was, the building that the shooter was on top? Why was there, bro, they had people inside of the building while he was on top. You had FBI, Secret Service inside of the same building that the suspect climbed and took the shot from. Is that amazing? So they trying to figure out why y'all have people inside and not outside. Also, there was a water tower that was there. Hold on, they'll get into it. Let me get out of him because he was boring.
Connecting the dots and federal, state, and local working together was the answer. I led a joint terrorism task force when I worked at the Department of Justice. and I also was involved in national security events, so I kind of know how these things operate. My question is to Colonel Paris. It's standard practice that the lead federal agency will come in and meet with the state and locals regarding the security plan before the event, prior to the event. Sir, did you participate or did your department participate in that?
So I did not participate. As I stated earlier,
You don't know nothing.
there were two commanders dedicated to those two primary roles, the motorcade and the staffing of the posts on site within the secure perimeter, as well as a state police area commander. So just as a way of background, our area commander that covers multiple troops in that area of the state, out of nearly 5,000 troopers, there are only 4 area commanders. So that major was present for the walkthrough on the 11th.
And were your troopers assigned inside the perimeter or outside?
Inside.
Inside. And was
With
the
each
outside within the jurisdiction of the local police?
So just as a point of clarification, there
So they're on the inside and not the outside. Come on, somebody.
were 2 on the operations plan. There were 2 marked cars that were assigned roving duties, which would primarily, as the name implies, be outside of the secure perimeter on roadways, responding to incidents that potentially could occur as a result of.
Elwood, I don't know if it was fake, bro. If you listen to the breakdowns, the director already stepped down. They're calling for more. And right now, you know, the Biden administration, you know, it looked like a lot of their people, allegedly, a lot of their people were assigned and put in place. So hold on, let's listen. It was a lot came out in this. I don't think it was fake no more. I don't think it was staged no more. I think they really tried to get him.
A congregation of that many people. But
So we saw, we walked into, we actually walked onto the roof where the sniper was. A clear, eyes on, clear shot of the president. A tree blocked the Secret Service's view. This kid did some. And that position was probably the best position outside the perimeter, as far as I could tell. There was also a water tower. That would have been a perfect spot for Secret Service. Were you aware of any presence of Secret Service in this water tower?
I was not.
And you're aware of what I'm talking about?
I am familiar. I physically flew out there on Saturday the 13th. It was still very much an active crime scene, so I did not walk the roofs, but I did.
On the adjacent building, we got a tour of that as well, where I believe the local police were positioned. There were 3 windows. The first one had a plain view of where the sniper would be. However, they were stationed in the second and third windows. Are you familiar with this at all?
I am not, from the standpoint that I have not seen the Secret Service's operations plan, and our deference would be to them to assign Butler ESU.
Right.
According
And
to.
they were apparently local counter snipers. Do you know if they should have been assigned to the rooftop?
I would defer to there are many ways that you can cover. Obviously, positioning people on the rooftop would be one of those.
No, and going to the actual site, way too close. He should never have been allowed to get on top of that building. And I don't know.
You feel me? I don't think it was fake, nigga. Some people are in trouble. I don't think it was fake no more. I think some people ran the play. They could tell it's an inside job. And the fact that you didn't put anyone on that roof and it was within 125, 150 meters, you know what I mean? So instead of putting people on top of the building, they got people inside of it. The same one that got crawled up. Ain't that something? So not only that, but they gonna come back and they feel like the rifle, he didn't bring the rifle with him that day. It was already staged there. Hold on, we'll get more into that.
I don't know how, and I know he was on your radar inside the perimeter. You seem to have lost him, and somehow he finds his way up to the rooftop unimpeded until a local law enforcement officer crawls on top of the roof and looks at him, and he points his AR-15 at him.
Now watch this here. They said a lawman got a boost, raised up there, and they say the guy pointed his weapon towards the cop, and the cop got afraid and ducked down. Check it out.
My question to you is, what was the communication like that day? Typically, Secret Service has one channel for them, the other channel for state and locals. Was there any communication to identify, hey, this is not a local police officer. This is, in fact, an unidentified individual on the rooftop. Was that communicated to the Secret Service?
So my belief, as I sit here today, is that we did have integrated communications from members that were inside of the Secret Service command post. Completely deferential to the ongoing nature of the investigation. I have an understanding of a sequence of events, but I would like to draw a distinction between a sequence of events, meaning.
So my theory is that they thought maybe he was an officer, but then they find out he's not. The thing I find interesting is that the counter sniper Secret Service, within seconds of the shots on the president, kills the suspect. That tells me he had him in his sights. Maybe he was not aware of who the individual was not identified. But I know within seconds after the shots were fired at the president, the threat was eliminated. Lastly, I just want to end with this. This was actually astonishing, and I want to get your confirmation. He had a detonation device with him, and 2 of his bombs were located in his car that was parked on the other side of the perimeter. Seems to me a good theory would be that he was going to kill the president and then detonate his car, causing a diversion, and then escape from the crime scene. Are you aware of any of this?
I am aware of the presence of the device on his person. We were aware of that very early on, and that was a serious tactical consideration in the hours in the immediate aftermath as we worked that crime scene. But to your point about his ultimate theory or what his ultimate motivation was, that remains under investigation.
And he had a rangefinder on him as well. That's a big red flag. I yield back.
Gentleman yields. I now recognize the gentleman from California, Mr. Swalwell, for 5 minutes of questioning.
Violence has never been the answer. And I thank both of you for your service in law enforcement and testifying today. Violence has never been the answer. Not on a certain day.
Support alert, support alert. Shout out to the homie Nice Slider 99 for the love in the cash app. Shout out to King Real for the love in the cash app. Say for bringing the real to the people in the real Indian way. Appreciate that love, y'all. Don't let them be the only ones support the show. Let's get the likes up, share, and support the show.
In January and not on a day in July. I remember I was 12 years old and my dad was on the way to school on a cold day in January. And my
Come
dad was
on, man. This ain't no goddamn novel.
Stopped me as I was about to leave and he wanted me to watch the television. His guy had just lost a presidential election and some young kid from Arkansas was about to be sworn in as the new president of the United States. My dad was burned. He really liked George Bush.
Come on, bro. Don't give us this novel.
But he told me to stop and watch the television coverage of the inauguration because he said, look at that, son. He said, that's what makes us so special. Allows some to reincarnate.
Go back to your own country and take that shit with you.
Themselves.
What make you special is you came over here and the American Indian Aboriginal Indigenous people was already special. And yeah, that's what made it special when you came over here. Talk about something special back at home. Where y'all from?
As victims of what happened. We can't let this ever happen again. We must arm law enforcement.
All the shootings occurred simultaneously. The same shot that struck President. You both.
Current vice presidential nominee.
Upon the Secret Service. Colonel Paris, I know that your officers were there in a support role. You were following the operational plan set out by Secret Service. You testified that
Scout,
the primary
what up, though?
responsibilities for your officers were motorcade and then the interior perimeter, and that you had 2 roving officers there, really just out there to provide support if necessary and called upon. You mentioned earlier that you went to the scene on the 13th, and thank you for going there and being a part of that. And you also testified earlier that you have not been provided the operational plan by the Secret Service. Is that correct?
That's correct. We haven't received it yet.
When did you request that?
I'd have to go back and check in the earlier part of the investigation. That was just something that we asked for as a matter of course. We were not told no. We just, to date, have yet to receive it.
And that would be important, would it not? If you're going to investigate what happened on that day, the operational plan, that is the starting point for all the events that later transpired. Is that correct?
Well, I don't want to overstate the role of the state police here is to investigate the 3 Pennsylvanians that were shot and the use of force by the Secret Service counter sniper. To the extent that we need to know the sequence of events leading up to that, we obviously would like to know as much as we can, but it's not our role to do an after-action report on the sequence.
Well, but all the shootings occurred simultaneously. The same shot that struck President Trump, one of those shots killed one of your fellow citizens, and 2 others were injured. And so you can't separate the 2. This is one investigation into a shooting that occurred in which one of your citizens were killed, 2 more were fatally injured. In which the president himself was struck. And so the fact that the Secret Service is stonewalling your investigation, that they're not providing you this information. We saw the testimony yesterday from the Secret Service director where she refused to answer questions and has now resigned. I find that to be especially troubling. We have the Secret Service not wanting to cooperate with Congress, not wanting to cooperate with a fellow law enforcement agency. And I personally find that troubling. As we look and as you are aware from speaking to your officers that were there physically on the scene that day, did Secret Service, did they have any drones in the air so that they could have an eye in the sky and see what was happening to your knowledge?
To my knowledge, I'm not aware that they were using drones, but that
and
I haven't seen the operations.
Does your agency have drones?
We do maintain some drones.
So if Secret Service would have requested your agency to fly drones that day, you would have been able to do so. Is that correct?
We would have endeavored to try to honor that request. Yes, sir.
And you testified that you've been to the scene of the shooting. Did you see the water tower that's located approximately 100 yards from the building where the shooter fired those shots?
I did see it, sir.
And would it have been possible to have put an officer, and again, that's not your responsibility to do that, that's the Secret Services, but would it have been possible to put an officer there looking down on the scene of the rally and the building where—
Hey, Phil, did you see him on that nigga road?
The shooter occurred? Would that have been something that would have been possible to do?
Presuming that there's a way to access the water tower. I didn't walk over. I was probably several hundred yards away, so I can't say that I could.
And if you had an officer up there, that would have provided you a strategic viewpoint of the events that were transpiring below, correct?
I would agree. Tactics, height gives a tactical advantage. Yes, sir.
And then I want to ask you also about the roof where the shooter was located. You said you didn't go on the roof, but you viewed the roof. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
The Secret Service director, prior to her resignation, said that she did not put anybody on the roof because it had a sloped roof that would have created a safety concern. I was in Butler, Pennsylvania yesterday with many members of this committee. My fellow member, Carlos Jimenez, who is 70 years old, and I guess he doesn't mind me saying that since he has put that information out there. There's video of him easily transversing the roof, walking across the roof, and even though he is some 50 years older than the shooter. And so my question is, do you agree with the assessment of the former Secret Service director that the roof was so sloped that it created safety concerns?
I can't agree with that statement, sir.
All right. Thank you very much. I'm out of time and I yield back.
Gentleman yields. I now recognize Mr. Crea for.
Hey, them boys tried to. Them boys tried to come out and you see the Secret Service, they shit unfolding so bad. They breached hold up. Let me see if he one of the ones I wanted to get to.
Right
It's
with us
another
in our
guy
investigation.
who's a sniper who I'm trying to get to.
Secret Service has to be 100% correct all the time. There's small force, 2,300 plus maybe 1,300. So you local police officers are the force multiplier. And to hear you say that miscommunication was an element here is unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
We talked earlier to the fact that FirstNet was put together post 9/11. It's a little bit over 20 years ago. And to hear that we still don't have the technology for people on the ground to talk with each other is of concern. It's even of greater concern to me when I was taking a tour of that farm in Butler, Pennsylvania yesterday. I had local law enforcement officers, local electeds coming to me, whispering to me, there's more here to the story. We need to talk about what actually happened. To have people that were on the ground there, concerned, afraid of stepping forward is unacceptable. To tell us of other failures that maybe this committee does not know about yet, that were part of what happened in Butler, Pennsylvania, is unacceptable. I asked one of the officers, safety officers, could you talk to the Secret Service? Said, no, we can't communicate. Took us 15 minutes to communicate with them. Local elected official who said, I have other stories that I need to talk to you about when you have a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, we're 4.5 months away from this election. Pennsylvania is a battleground state. You will have these kinds of events again. And to know that we don't have the facts, let alone execute a plan to fix the holes, is unacceptable to our democracy and to our country. We can talk about the facts. The facts are a lot of things went wrong. Let's talk about how to fix it now. I think we start with accepting the fact that things went wrong and that we need more resources. Colonel Paris, your volunteers, your officers that you put on the line to help the Secret Service, are they actually compensated somewhere for their overtime, their extra time they're out there?
They're in a paid status, yes. They're not, we assign them to those duties, and if they incur overtime as a result of the contract, the contractual bargaining agreement, we pay them.
So let me ask you something in the minute and a half I have left.
Nah, Saint, they don't.
Officers there.
Look, say I'm not buying it. It's too sloppy.
After we spoke a while, I said, well, let me summarize what you just told me.
I'm
You're
born
asking me
here, and
who's
audio
in
expert
charge.
said there were 3 different types of weapons.
And he asked me, yeah, I want to know who's in charge. I said, well, let's talk some more. And he said, Lou, we don't know if it's the campaign or the Secret Service that's in charge here. Said, if I called for a row of dump trucks to be put up behind the stand, it wouldn't happen because the optics would not be good for a campaign rally. I want to know who's in charge protecting our national candidates. And Mr. Chairman, I'd like to see if we can ask those tough questions. This is not a Democrat or Republican issue. This is about trying to come up with some rules, protocol to make sure this does not happen again. After the events, we can sit here, we can point fingers at each other and talk about partisanship. It's not going to fix our democracy or electoral system. Mr. Chairman, I do hope we go back.
It is imperative. Photo right after Crooks was.
And talk about partisanship.
ESU.
And you said Butler ESU. What is the acronym ESU stand for?
Emergency Services Unit. It's a team.
And talk about
ESU.
And you said Butler ESU. What is the acronym ESU stand for?
Emergency Services Unit. It's a team that's comprised of multiple agencies that pool resources on a county or several county basis in order to enhance capabilities and training and be able to respond. Basically, a mutual aid agreement is my understanding of it.
Is it sort of like a SWAT team?
They are trained in SWAT tactics, to my knowledge.
So
yes.
there, how many ESU officers were posted to that second floor window?
So I am aware that 2 were in the building, but again, I have not seen the Secret Service operations plan.
Do you know, well, you say in the building, were they in a window, where a window out onto the scene?
From briefings that I have been given, I was told they were in a window. Yes, sir.
Did they remain on post?
I was told that at a certain point, they began searching along with other local officers in the immediacy after Crooks had been identified as suspicious by them.
Okay, so the building that the guy Crooks is on top of, well, they have people inside of the building looking out of a window instead of them being on post. Now, the reason why they say they wasn't on top of the building, which is the highest building, that was there outside of the tower, the water tower. Now, the same building, coincidentally, the same building that the guy climbs up, you have armed servicemen inside. Now, the witnesses and other people are going to say, hey, we didn't, we think the weapon was already planted on the scene because no one seen them walk up with the weapon. Very important to note too. So he grilling him on, did somebody assign them to the window or, but he has got him to agree that yes, there were people on post in the window versus on top of the shed.
By them.
My understanding is that they identified Crooks for not matriculating. He never, to my knowledge, Crooks never made it through the secure perimeter into the venue space itself.
Tay,
that he was identified by those members as suspicious in part because of that. And then at some point he produced the rangefinder, which heightened that suspicion.
So Representative Crane took a video on site yesterday.
They got rangefinders, he got military explosives. I'm talking about
staff to put that up. It's just very short. There's a few seconds. They can do that. If I understand correctly, this is from the second story window of the AGR building. You can see that window comes out from the sash and swings out to the right. There's an aerial photo right after Crooks was killed, where Crooks's body's on the roof, and that window was open. Was it from this vantage point that those ESU officers spotted Crooks?
I don't know that particular window, but my understanding is from a second story window is where he was initially spotted.
Okay. So, are you then saying that
to
your knowledge, those ESU officers left the location where they could look out the window to go in search of this person?
That is my understanding.
Sometime between the time he was spotted on the ground and identified as someone suspicious until the shooting, they had left that post to go look for him. Is that what you're saying?
My understanding is yes, along with other municipal officers that responded to that area. And that's based on interviews that we've conducted. And I want to be very clear that I don't want to establish a timeline minute by minute because we don't have that yet.
I think that's revelatory. I haven't heard that information. I did hear before that and there's a local news station. Well, there's a local news station report from July 17 that says that local law enforcement were told they couldn't be responsible for securing the AGR building during the Trump rally. And of course, you've testified a moment ago or earlier in this hearing that it was your understanding that the meeting with the Secret Service on the site was that ESU was going to handle the AGR building. Which is it? Do you know?
My understanding is what my initial answer was.
Okay. You also, in response to Mr. McCall, you started to say something. You were saying that you did have integrated comms And you were saying you were deferring to the ongoing investigation, but you have an understanding of the sequence. And then he cut you off and went on to another question. Do you know what you were about to say? Do you remember that?
Just that we had members of PSP inside of the Secret Service command post, and we were maintaining communication with our people.
Had ESU maintained position in that window overlooking the roof, isn't it true that they would have had a clean shot at Mr. Crooks as he was ascending the roof to his shooting position?
I'm not prepared to say that because I don't know the exact timeline of events.
But it's your understanding, though, that they were no longer in that room where they had been previously overlooking the building at the time he was ascending the roof. Is that correct?
Could you repeat that question?
The ESU officers were no longer in that room where they could look out the window and oversee the roof as that video shows.
I believe they were actively searching along with additional municipal officers for Mr. Crooks.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My time's expired.
Gentleman yields. I now recognize Mr. Carter.
Thank you, Mr.
For 5
Chairman.
minutes.
And thank you to our witnesses for joining us today.
Hold on. We got a support alert. Shout out to OG Rainstorm. Shout out to OG Shrugs, Indian Gang of Don't Bang. Or Get Bang Bang.
Today, as we convene to discuss the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump and its profound implications on our nation's political landscape, it is imperative
Superman, I think
that
it's
we
the
recognize
inside
the
dog.
growing threats to our homeland. The failure of the Secret Service to protect former President Donald Trump must be thoroughly investigated and addressed to ensure such an incident never happens again. Violence has no place in political discourse, regardless of our philosophical differences, our parties, or our beliefs. We must stand united against such actions and uphold the principles of democracy and respect. What happened on that day was an incredible breach, a threat to our nation because one of our leaders were placed in harm's way. Secret Service has a principal role, and that is to provide protection for our party leaders, whether they're Republican, Democrat, or other. Rather, they are someone that we agree with or someone we disagree with. It's not a luxury. It's a necessity. It's an imperative. And while we all have lots of questions, it appears abundantly clear that the two of you, and while we appreciate you being here, own no responsibility to the breach. And I respect the fact that the questions that are coming to you are very difficult for you to answer because you have limited facts. But I do appreciate your presence. I appreciate your leadership. I appreciate what you do. And for all the men and women in uniform, we thank you for putting your lives on the line to protect us. I will ask this general question. If you were in charge, can you say what you might have done differently?
I would defer to the Secret Service from the standpoint that our expertise in the Pennsylvania State Police is not primarily focused on full-time dignitary protection, sir. I would endeavor generally to try and put whatever resources and partnerships in place to maintain and ensure the safest event we possibly could.
Do you believe that the coordination failed between agencies?
Again, I can only comment on the state police portion at this point. We continue to learn more 10 days in, and I have not seen the Secret Service operations plans.
Mr. Yost, can you join us and share any light in your expertise on where we are and how can we make sure this absolutely never happens again, regardless of who might be at the podium? A president is a president is a president.
I could not agree with you more. In this situation, if I'm speaking on behalf of local law enforcement or state law enforcement, I would say that, again, the primary responsibility of making these calls, making these decisions, and making the operations plans going to be the Secret Service. As I mentioned earlier, there are some 19,000 agencies across this country. It would be impossible to have any continuity or any consistency with what we do in protecting, our leaders. So Secret Service would have to play a huge role in this part. If you're asking me personally what I would have done different, well, obviously I look at an assessment of the situation and look at all of the elevated positions that were in place. They should have been part of a contained area. But that's just my own personal view of not seeing news reports and not physically being on site.
I have never served in any form of law enforcement, but I think I would have figured that that perimeter should have been tighter. I think I could have figured out that there's no way that that building where the shooter sat, laid, and aimed should not have had snipers on top of it as well, negating any opportunity for a shooter to be there. Notwithstanding that there should have been a sweep of the area, we should have had our people on that building as a point of view for our former president. And as I said, a president, a president, a president, a former president, a former president, former president, a cabinet secretary, a leader. We deserve to have answers to these questions, because when we don't have answers, those who would rather divide and create theater by saying things that aren't true and they know aren't true, distorting facts and trying to suggest that somehow people played an active role. Listen, the American people deserve the truth. And so I am imploring that we have somebody at these tables that can answer the questions, the good, the tough, the uncomfortable, the comfortable, because the American people deserve to know. This is something that should have never happened. And we as a committee, in a most bipartisan fashion, should stand together to make sure that we send a message always, that we will always protect our leaders, whether we agree with them or not. Mr. Chairman, I yield.
The gentleman yields. I now recognize the gentleman from Florida, Mr. Jimenez, for 5 minutes of questioning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Colonel Paris, you said the United States Secret Service, Penn State Police was there, Butler ESU was there. Any other law enforcement agency there?
According to the operations plan that PSP put together, there were elements from Butler County Sheriff. Deputy sheriffs were on some of those interior posts, and thus they were on our.
I just need the answer.
I apologize. There are one additional ones that I could name would be Butler County Sheriffs were in our operations plan. Pittsburgh City Police provided assets to the motorcade, and I believe Allegheny County Police also.
You said that you were in the Incident Command Center, that your agency was in the Incident Command Center with the Secret Service.
Yes, sir.
Well, all the other agencies in that command center?
I believe.
Man, I would build, man, listen, I would do so good up there on this stage with a person like him too, who tap dance and run a lot of answers. I set traps for him. I would have been real good at this. I would have been a good lawyer.
That some of those agencies were represented, but I can't definitively tell you.
We need to find the answer to that. It was Butler ESU in that command center?
I was told at one point that there was a representative in there. How long and over what period, I'm not sure. I'm aware of three.
So the agency that's in charge of the outside perimeter, actually the agency in charge of the greatest threat, because when you stand at the podium, and I stood there, and when you look, all you had to do is look around. There's the greatest threat right there. It's 100 yards away. It's elevated, direct line of fire to the president. I stood on that roof. No problem standing on that roof. And yes, I am 70 years old. Okay. So the timeline is very important here. If in fact they thought that Mr. Brooks was so suspicious that they actually pulled the ESU counter snipers away, because there were counter snipers, what I understand, and stand in that window, a way to look for him. And from what I understand the timeline, it's about 20 minutes before the president came out. Was that information relayed to the Secret Service, that they were looking for a suspicious individual and that people had been pulled away to look for that suspicious individual? Was that relayed to the Secret Service?
I believe.
Man, that's a hey, are y'all following where he went? I think old school right here had the best argument, because he got him caught up on the timeline. He got him to acknowledge that there was Secret Service in the same location, the highest threat, and they had 20 minutes, around approximately 20 minutes, a call came out about a suspicious individual. Well, what happened? They're gonna pull those two guys, those two servicemen, away from the building that had the highest potential threat. while he's gone, while they left, this is gonna give the guy time enough, crooks time enough to climb on top of the building. Y'all see what's going on? Let's get some flames in the chat if y'all see what's going on. Now they're servicemen. Instead of being on top, because the head director said that it was a safety hazard for them to be on top, so they placed him on the inside. A call came out of a suspicious individual. Well, instead of them letting everyone else take care of it, well, they call these people outside of their post. They get them off their post. While they're off their post, it gives the crooks time enough to climb on top. If this is not a play, come on, somebody.
Believe that it was.
And was that relayed to the Secret Service, the team that surrounds the president himself?
I can't answer that.
Well, if it wasn't, that's another big mess up.
Yeah, that's another.
And I can tell you, this is just one of a bunch of mess ups that I've seen. One of them question that I have is, why in the world was that team from ESU in the building to begin with? Why weren't they on a rooftop? And it was a hot day, right? And so,
look how he say, fam. Wow, who put them in the building? If we have enough manpower, they should be on top to secure this secure perimeter for one, and to eliminate the highest threat, the greatest threat. The manpower were there. Someone placed them inside of the building and then caught them off their post, which left the greatest element of threat vulnerable, because now there's no one there to guard it. Not the greatest military in the world would make a rookie mistake like that unless they were in on it.
that's another question that I'm going to, why were you assigned inside a building when you have a little window, it's like this big, right? And your line of sight out of that window, unless you stick your head out of the window, is pretty limited, your view. So why were you inside, not outside? Who said for them to be inside and not outside? What did the Secret Service tell you were inside the perimeter, right?
Yes.
For the most part, you were inside the perimeter.
Me personally, or
No, I'm saying your agency was inside
Yes.
the perimeter. But actually the threat,
See,
the
here's
biggest
the
threat was
debate.
outside the perimeter. And so who developed the plan to protect the outside of the perimeter? There's only one agency. That's the United States Secret Service. Because you really can't ask the local agency to do that because they're not in the business of dignitary protection. They don't do it all the time. You don't do it all the time. They do it all the time. So, Mr. Chairman, we're going to need those other agencies to come in. We need a timeline. Who said what to who, and what the action that was taken. You know, one thing that I noticed in another video, and I've got to find out if it's true, and it appears to be true, is that the snipers on the south side reposition to look to the north side. And I want to know what the timeline for that was. How far in advance were the snipers?
Did y'all hear that? Snipers on the south side, they trying to find out who gave the call for them to direct their attention to the north. There's so many things taking place. So you got shooters on the south side, but then they were placed in the direction of the north. Who call was that?
The counter snipers.
This is what I'm telling you. I don't think it was no I don't think it was no staged or none of that. I don't think none of that. I think some people conspired, you know, today was that day, you know, they was gonna get him that day.
On the south side told, hey, you need to look at a threat on the north side. And how much time was there between that and then the shots being fired. Do you have any information on that?
I do not have a specific timeline.
Okay, and those are that's the information that we need. It's not unusual to have people on different frequencies. Actually, you have to because you have so many people, but you have to have everybody in the same place so they communicate with each other. So we need to know if everybody that was in charge or had responsibility for protecting not only the interior perimeter, but outside the perimeter, if they were all in that incident command center. And if they weren't, that's a huge problem too. Thank you. Now you back.
Gentleman yields. I now recognize
He
Mr.
was
McIntyre
good.
for 5 minutes.
He was good.
Rhode Island.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And first, I just want to join my colleagues from both sides of the aisle earlier who recognized the tremendous legacy of our colleague, Sheila Jackson Lee, who, I feel very fortunate to have had even just a year and a half to work with on this committee. She always came prepared. She was diligent.
Look,
She
they
brought
could have
empathy
cast
and
out.
was a
She
great
could have
example to us newer members. So I'm very grateful for her legacy, and I know it will live on for a long time to come. And I also join my colleagues on both sides in condemning the assassination attempt
All right, Ben,
on former
OG.
President Trump and condemn all acts of violence. Violence is not the answer. Our condolences go out to the family of Corey Comparator and all who were injured and traumatized by what occurred that day. And, I think about the children who were at that event and had to witness that. And that is something they will carry with them for the rest of the state, where anyone 18 and above can carry a firearm like an AR-15 without a license. It's an open carry state. And so my second question is, outside of that perimeter, were there any controls in place or any, legal tools that you had at your disposal if an individual with a firearm had been spotted, again, within 300, 400 yards of the former president?
I would defer to the Secret Service. I haven't seen their operations plan, sir.
Right, but you as state police and then also the Butler local police who were responsible for areas outside of the perimeter, if this individual had been spotted earlier with a firearm because it is an open carry state, what legal tools would you have had at your disposal?
So we would have responded and attempted to make contact and ascertain what the person was doing there and what their activity was.
Yeah. So a number of us have asked questions about lines of communication, and I think that's important, right? Because to the layperson at home, what we're trying to understand is if this individual was spotted on the roof, as he appears to have been well over a minute before the shooting, did the local officers who spotted him know how to radio into the command center? Was that information relayed? And then was it in turn relayed to the Secret Service? This question has been asked a few different times, but can you tell the public what you know about whether local officers outside the perimeter knew how to radio in a suspected threat, whether there was an individual in the command center who was receiving those calls and communicating them to the Secret Service?
So I do know that Butler County set up a command post on the site itself, along with the Secret Service's command post, but they were not located in the same building.
The transparency that we could have on so many other issues that are going on right now. And I believe that is possible for us to do. Thank you both for being here. Colonel Paris, was it clear to you, when we talk about rules of engagement, deconfliction plans, the assignments of which law enforcement agency will cover which section, did you have concerns prior to the president coming on stage? And if so, did you voice those concerns to the Secret Service?
So just to be clear, I was not present at the venue on July 13th.
But in the planning and the lead up,
Planning, my default position would be that our commanders are aware of what their responsibilities are within a unified command structure reporting to the Secret Service.
And do you believe that it was absolutely clear that there were zero questions of who was supposed to cover what areas of the venue?
I can only comment to our responsibilities, and I believe our responsibilities were delineated to us, and I believe we met or exceeded those responsibilities based on everything that I know as I sit here 10 days in.
I think there's still a lot of questions regarding the plan,
Agreed.
And this is always in any sort of protection assignment, that's always the hardest thing. Who are friendly assets? Who could be a vulnerable hostile actor? Who displays hostile intent, hostile act? I think it's clear there was a failure, and we definitely want to get to the bottom of it. President Yost, do you get the impression that Secret Service at any point in the run up to this or other events has been stretched thin when it comes to just the work hours that they are putting in, the resources that they have? Was that communicated in any way?
Well, I can't speak directly to that. I can tell you that law enforcement across this country is stretched thin, just simply due to the inability to be able to attract the best and the brightest at any levels in order to maintain the staffing levels we need. So if that is the case, and we're not meeting those levels in Secret Service because of our inability to be able to recruit, then we need to address that. Or if it's the alignment of assets and the assignment of individuals, then that in itself is something as well, and something I'm not in a position to be able to speak about, other than to recognize that there's two huge factors here that need to be addressed.
Well, it's clear that that's the case, and God bless both of you for what you do, for the hours that you put in to protect our communities. And we can't do it without you, and we need you, and we will continue to advocate for you. I want to talk about now, that leads me into this next question. There's a piece of legislation, HR 8081, called the Disgraced Act. It says denying infinite security and government resources.
We got there and had a chance to talk to people in the community, but
so to connect, you mentioned timing. It's important to mention timing, that it wasn't.
Well, we don't want to debate the bill. We're here to hear from witnesses that are here. So I'm going to go ahead and end this now, and we're going to move on. And I think actually Mr. Ivey is up for 5 minutes.
thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I think he did.
And, I want
I
to
think
associate myself with the remarks of our members here with respect to the loss of Miss Jackson Lee. It's with deep sadness that I feel her loss. I share not only this committee with her. I counted about 12 rooftops there. I hope I don't butcher this too bad. Connequenessing Township was extremely helpful. And Sam Zerzolo, who is a commissioner from Butler Township. And they were able to provide information on several fronts that I think we need to pay attention to, not just for this particular event, but going forward. Could you hit a video for me there? I think Ms. Flieger tried to produce this and send it to me. The red building is the one that was directly behind the stage. The building in the center there was where the shooter was. The reason I'm asking for this to be shown is that as you get past the middle of it, look to the opposite side of the field from where the shots came. Oh, you can stop it now. I counted about 12 rooftops there, just sort of standing at the front. I'm a former federal prosecutor. I don't have a background in protection, but my thought was, why would we pick a spot where you had that many rooftops that were available? And my colleague, Mr. Crane, definitely defer to your experience as a sniper in the military, and your point about picking the water tower as a higher point would have been a good one, I think, to consider. And I'm curious about finding out what the Secret Service would say about that. But I just thought that this was a bad site to pick, no matter where you put them. There was just too many openings. The field was totally open. And one of the things that Ms. Flieger pointed out was that the road that went to the side of this spot here, the stage was right in front of those two buildings. The snipers were on top of those, I believe.
Now watch this here. Watch what he say about the road.
They didn't shut down that road. And she also...
They got a road. They didn't even shut the road down. They walked.
Showed me a photo of her husband going in on that day through a fence that wasn't guarded in the perimeter area.
So they got a fence that's not even guarded. All right.
Another point.
A hole in the fence. All right. Now, no walkway, but a hole in the fence that's not guarded.
That she made was that the night before the speech was done, she and 50 or 60 other people from the community came to decorate the stage and, put up the red, white, and blue blending and the Trump signs and everything. But the point she had there was that None of those people were vetted before they went into the area and were up at the stage and, could have done anything, I think was the point that she made. And also noted that apparently the shooter had hidden the gun somewhere on the site by, I think where I hate to call the name of the business, but the business where the shooter ended up taking the shots from. So I think
So the shooter, they said the gun was already planted on site. Now you talking about some bad work. There's some bad work going on out there. Y'all hear this shit?
a variety of concerns here that I look forward to getting a chance to hear from these individuals. I don't know if it's going to be in the context of this committee or the oversight committee or the task force that's been proposed. Whoever does it needs to go talk to these folks, because the ones that I talked with had not been interviewed by the FBI, Secret Service, or local police. And they have key information that I think we should have, especially in making decisions about going forward. And then just a couple quick points before my time runs out. I think it came up with respect to the communications piece. I appreciate Mr. Yoi's comments there, but we need to figure out not just what happened on that day, but when we do these at other sites across the country going forward, what's going to happen with the communications? And if they're not using the national bandwidth that was set up, how can we make sure that that happens in the future? And then with respect to the local police not reinventing the wheel every time, one of them suggested, maybe some kind of clearinghouse or information where local police departments, local elected officials, who, for example, in this instance.
All right. Let me see. Boom, 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 boom. Why are we going with this? Boom, 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 boom. Where we going with it? All right. Yeah, thought we bring that out to the family, man. Very, very interesting. Shout out to the homie Turtle Islander in the cash app. Appreciate that love, family. Man, I ain't gonna hold y'all. I'm gonna let y'all get back to y'all day. Hope y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. That's my time. As long as we got each other, we don't need nobody else. I see y'all in Texas, and I'll see y'all in Jamaica. We gone. Hey, if you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button. Come back and give us a comment on the show as well. Help us get in the algorithm. Oh, look.
I do that 3-1 times again. I test the 5 you. I'm so that like you, that bitch I do it. All I will cry was kidding you. I'm not. Long if you joking now for me. I ain't got it. I've been skinny, do it. I know bodies. Long as you dreaming about me, ain't no problem. I don't know nobody just like you right now. But the truth, I look better under you. I get lost when I'm with you. How can us lose and miss the moment? You just too important. Nobody like you do. I can't lose when I'm with you. I can't just lose and miss the moment. You just too important. Nobody like you do. You know. I touch that 5 you. I do that 3-1 times again. I test the 5 you. I'm so that like you, that bitch I do it. All I will cry was kidding you. I'm not. Long if you joking now for me. I ain't got it. I've been skinny, do it. I know bodies. Long as you dreaming about me, ain't no problem. I don't got nobody just with you right now. But the truth, I look better under you. I get lost when I'm with you. I can lose and miss the moment. You just too important. Nobody like you do. I can't lose when I'm with you. I can't just lose and miss the moment. You just too important. Nobody like you do. You know. In the top shop right with you, I feel like Scarface. The party bitch with the bob, I'll be your main one. The stakes is argument back up to my place. Sex from argue, I'm not violent, I'm your day one. We had you, yeah. It was magic, yeah. Smash and grab shit, yeah. Nasty habits take a hold when you're not here. Ain't a home when you're not here. Find the home when you're not here. I'm saying, I can't lose when I'm with you. How can I lose and miss the moment? You just too important. Nobody like you do. I can't lose when I'm with you. How can I lose and miss the moment? You just too important. Nobody like you do. I can't lose when I'm with you. How can I lose and miss the moment? You just too important. Nobody like you do. I can't lose when I'm with you. How can I lose and miss the moment? You just too important. Nobody like you do.